Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Come on in, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for being here. I appreciate everyone for being here. I hope everyone's having a great morning. Um, we're going to get into Diddy, and Diddy's lawyers confirm they have reached out to Donald Trump administration and they're still seeking a pardon. Okay, so for the last few days, we've talked about and Gina writing the letter to try and get him released. And then we talked about Donald Trump and how last week or the week before that, he had mentioned that he's considering it. And then he did another interview in regards to Good Morning Anonymous. How are you? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you telling people to hit the like. I appreciate it. You're the first one in this morning. I've taken care of everything. I don't have to move or leave anytime that soon, but I still have stuff to do. But good morning, good morning. Sometimes Anonymous is busy on this side, but I'm grateful I am able to take care of what I need to take care of and complete my tasks on a daily basis. Some people can't say that. They need assistance to complete their daily tasks. So, busy over here. Yes, busy, busy, busy. If I could say a lot, y'all, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get into that, but yes, we're gonna talk Diddy. The biggest concerns has been that the judge recently denied his bail again. And many people were like, was that fair? Should this be happening? What's going on? It's at the judge's discretion to proceed how he wants to proceed. Now, let's talk about the jury. The jury made a decision. Many people somewhat feel that the jury might have rushed. Was it because of the holiday? Was it because they talked about, you got to remember, they talked about one of the juries wasn't trying to follow instructions. I think that should have been a more addressed because now we have the verdict that we have, and it is what it is. And then we have to talk about Gina resurfaced after the jury started deliberating. And many people are saying it is up to Gina's discretion if she wanted to testify or not testify. One of my favorite people that I somewhat listen to, I don't give her that much credit, but she's very smart, very bright, very intelligent. They were saying some of the women that testified might not have been subpoenaed to testify. So maybe it was in the discretion whether Gina wanted to testify or not testify. But what we are going to say is Cassie and Gina's situationship might have been somewhat parallel. But you have to remember, Diddy didn't just date Cassie and Gina. He dated other people. And that's where a lot of people are side eyeing the court case because some of those other women should have been called. Gina has gone back and forth with who Diddy recently dated over the last 2, 3 years. See, that would have been brought up in court. Gina going back and forth with who Diddy was dating. And that was huge in regards to what the back and forth was. But we'll get into that. But we're definitely going to talk about Diddy, him seeking a pardon, and will Trump do it? Now you got to remember, we're going to play the clip where Trump is saying, most likely not. we're we're gonna we're gonna get into it. So since he said that, you got to remember, Trump said most likely not over the last 3, 4 days. So of course, Diddy's team is panicking. Y'all let me know. Should Gina have written that letter? Come on, y'all. If she says she's a victim, allegedly, victim number 3, you're telling the judge you had concerns with this dude. He should have had to write a letter. Somebody that he might have dated for a month, 2 months. I had a great experience. We had no concerns. We did dinner, movies. We traveled the world. That's what the it should have been. Having Gina write the letter, side eye, baby. because he could literally look up her video she did several years and he could literally see how she was emotional. She talked about what he did to her. Of course, let's say this, people do change, y'all. People do change. They do. But if a lot of your girlfriends have had situationships and concerns, and then they're talking about being with you, what that means, go back and listen to um he dated a young lady and she talked about how she liked to be on. And Cassie kind of talked about that too. And some of the males that they hired, they said, I'm not doing that. So ladies, let's talk to the ladies. Ladies, be careful in the men you date and them disgracing you in a way that if your new husband or boyfriend found out you did XYZ, if he would feel comfortable if you did XYZ. Think about what was said in the court case. These men did what to Cassie? How often did she have to be with men? How many days? There was health concerns in regards to her mouth. There was health concerns in regards to her pelvic region. We're going to get to this clip, though. I can go on and
Reports
on.
obtained by E-News.
Hold on.
The legal saga of Sean Diddy Combs entering a new chapter after his guilty verdicts. In court docs obtained by E-News, the Bad Boy Records founder filed a new motion July 30th, requesting to either overturn his convictions or grant the 55-year-old a brand new trial. Less than a month after Combs was convicted for transportation to engage in prostitution, his attorneys calling the verdict unprecedented, alleging Combs never actually committed illegal acts as the law describes. Saying in their motion, Combs, at most, paid to engage in voyeurism as part of a swinger's lifestyle. That does not constitute prostitution under a properly limited definition of the statutory term. The media mogul's legal team demanding an acquittal, and if not, they'll request a fresh start in court without evidence tied to his not guilty verdicts. Surrounding charges for...
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Continue to hit the like, you guys. There's about 50 in the building. Can you please double tap that screen to hit the like and thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Racketeering and sex trafficking. This comes after the trial judge denied Diddy's request to be released on bail, leaving him behind bars in his New York City detention center, where the rapper awaits his sentencing hearing scheduled for October 3rd. E-News has reached out to Diddy's prosecutors for comment, but has not yet heard back.
And see, this is the one thing everybody has to remember. His team is trying everything they can to get him out, but that doesn't mean that the judge has to do it. The judge has heard what his attorneys said, and he's not stupid. Hold on, the judge is not stupid. Okay, let's get to this clip. Like the videos, you guys come in. There's about 51 in the building. If you guys can hit that like, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Was denied, but in that motion, there was a letter from Gina, a former girlfriend of Sean Combs, who was supposed to be victim number 3. Now, prosecution, they issued a subpoena on Gina, and she was not called to testify. Prosecutors said ahead of the trial that they essentially had lost touch with her and her attorney.
Now, she's saying that she was subpoenaed. The other attorney that I was listening to yesterday and the day before said some of those people weren't subpoenaed. So let me go back. So was she subpoenaed or not?
Victim number 3. Now, the prosecution, they issued a subpoena on Gina, and she was not called to testify. Prosecutors said ahead of the trial that they essentially had lost touch with her and her attorney. What happened there? Was she ever cooperating with prosecutors, to your knowledge?
That's almost jokeable. It's just, this isn't funny, but if the government wanted to find Miss Gina and bring her into that courtroom, they most definitely would have. So I can't find her. I don't, you know.
Do you know, though?
The government has subpoena power. They have federal agents.
This is one of Diddy's lawyers. This is the biggest thing. We understand Gina and Cassie's situation and possibly Jane Doe's situation would have been too parallel. Okay, we got the Cassie situation, we saw the video, and then we have the Cassie testimony, and then we have emails. But then we also have Jane. He is dating and was dating Jane up until he got arrested. So what does that look like? He got rid of Cassie. Cassie's married with children. She's pregnant. Now he's in a whole situationship with Jane Doe. That's what they wanted to proceed with. If Gina would have came in, it would have showed another volatile, yeah, situationship. They didn't want Gina to testify because they would have knew her situation would have been too similar to Cassie's.
They would have brought her in.
Do you know, though, to your knowledge, did she ever meet with prosecutors? Was she ever cooperating with their investigation?
Good
because she was in
question.
the indictment as victim number 3.
So she definitely was in the indictment, and if the government.
I did hear that too, Matthew. Thanks for saying that. I heard about that. I really did. This whole situation is messy. How they wrote it up was messy. How the jury handled it was kind of messy. It never should have went into the holiday season. Some of those people should not have been on the stand as long as they were on the stand. Some of that stuff should not have been repetitive. They should have more so focused on the raid. Period. If 50% is about Cassie and Jane Doe and Mia, shouldn't have been. It should have been about other stuff. We get it. But what people do in their bedroom and the decisions they make. And then you got to remember, some of the people that were hired did take the stand. Some of the employees did complain. But not having KK there and confirming the complaints from the girlfriends or the complaints from the employees is a whole situationship.
Wanted her to come into that courtroom, and if they thought that she had something criminal or negative to say in reference to Mr. Combs, they would have forced her to do so. That's what subpoena power is. So,
Sure.
I think the government not calling her speaks for itself, and I think the recent support from her gives you a pretty good insight why.
And see, they would have probably talked about the interview she did. Gina did an interview, and they talked about Gina. They talked about KK, but no Gina, no KK. Baby, the feds have to deal with everybody. Day to day, people are seeing that there was a concern how they proceeded with Diddy, and then we hear that they tried to offer him a plea deal, and he didn't take it, and I wouldn't have taken it either. And that's probably why they decided not to call any witnesses because their witnesses would have been dragged through the mud like the other people would have been. The other people were. Let's continue. Fair clip.
Case. I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. A federal judge just denied Diddy's 5th request for bail. Diddy cannot fulfill his burden of convincing the judge by clear and convincing evidence that he's not a flight risk, and that he's not a threat to the public and to the witnesses and anybody who may have been against him. The music mogul's sentencing is still set for October 3rd. The judge's denial came after Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Gina Win, pled for his release. This, even though she previously claimed Diddy abused her. Denied.
He started punching me on the side of my head, and I was just covering my face.
Gina's testimony and support of Diddy certainly was a surprise. She was going to be a government witness, then she backed off on that, it seems, and is in support of Diddy at this point.
Now she's supporting him. Now, I can't confirm or deny if people were paid off. Many people are saying that. Oh, this might have been paid off. Oh, that might have been paid off. I can't confirm or deny if there was payoffs. But what we do know that it was definitely a concern. This is huge. I should have been playing this a few days ago and I kept forgetting. This is the biggest thing. Not too many celebrities showed up and showed out to support him. Let's get to this video. Great breakdown. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Let's start with this ruling that just came in. Gotta get this in breaking news.
Okay, there's about 110 in the building. If we can get the likes up, you guys. There's 3 likes. That's the same from 10 minutes ago. Let's get the likes up. Please double tap that screen to get the likes up, everybody. All it is a double tapping of the screen. Let's get the likes up. Double tap the screen as you guys come in, and thank you. Double tap the screen. There's 176 in the building. If 176 can please subscribe and thank you.
We've been on the air with a judge in literally the last maybe 10 minutes denying Diddy's motion for bail, meaning Sean Combs is going to stay behind bars until his sentencing in 2 months from now. Let me bring in Yasmin Vasugian, who's covering this story for us. Yas, we're going to get to all of this. Let's start with this ruling that just came in. Yeah. Do we know anything else? What else can you tell us?
Yeah, so essentially what we're learning from this judge, I mean, it's some of the same reasoning that we heard with the initial ruling when the defense also asked for instance, him to be released on $50 million bail, in which case they're saying essentially that he failed to
provide burden of proof as to why he should be released on this $50 million bail. Also, citing his previous criminal background along with being a potential danger to society. So I don't think it's necessarily a surprise how that this denial came in, that in fact Sean Diddy Combs at this point will have to wait inside that prison in Brooklyn until his sentencing on October 3rd. But nonetheless, I also think that amidst all of this, it is incredibly likely that his defense attorneys will pursue other avenues in which they'll seek to have bail granted on his behalf and leading up to October 3rd. What about this other piece of information we learned about today? This letter from Diddy's ex-girlfriend, somebody who, I guess, had initially been part of the case against Sean Combs, who now is basically writing or was writing in his defense. What's going on here?
So she was seen as a victim number 3, or cited as victim number 3 by the prosecution, and she was set to testify on behalf of the prosecution initially going into the trial, and then she kind of goes to the prosecution, literally, in that they said in court, stated in court, that she was supposed to testify. However, they had tried to remain in contact with her and had not necessarily heard back. I would also reiterate that she had given an interview to a podcast in 2019, I believe, in which she said and cited that Sean Diddy Combs had repeatedly stomped on her chest. His former assistant testified in court as well that he had witnessed Sean Diddy Combs throwing apples at her. She dated Sean Diddy Combs for multiple years.
And that's what they talked about in the court case. Think about it. How does that look? You didn't show up to testify. Then you wrote a letter, and you also did not make yourself known or available until the jury was deliberating. The judge is not stupid. You guys, he's not stupid. That's a huge concern. I don't know who wrote the letter. We can't confirm or deny if she wrote it, if she had help with it, but she even said she's victim 3. They talked about her being hit with things as they were dating.
Or was writing in his defense? What's going on here?
So she was seen as a victim number 3, or cited as victim number 3 by the prosecution, and she was set to testify on behalf of the prosecution initially going into the trial, and then she kind of prosecution, literally, in that they said in court, stated in court, that she was supposed to testify. However, they had tried to remain in contact with her and then not.
So do you think that's a little witness tampering? Not getting her to testify? Not getting her to testify, you resurface after the grand jury starts to deliberate, and then you write a letter on his behalf. So who's pushing that narrative? Him, his team? Think about it. You can't make this up.
Not necessarily heard back. I would also reiterate that she had given an interview to a podcast in 2019, I believe, in which she said and cited that Sean Diddy Combs had repeatedly stomped on her chest. His former assistant testified in court as well that he had witnessed Sean Diddy Combs throwing apples at her. She dated Sean Diddy Combs for multiple years, on and off, throughout the time in which he dated Cassie Ventura as well. But nonetheless, she is now writing this letter to help the defense, in which she's citing, "I'm writing because I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or to the community. This is his first criminal case. Throughout the investigation and proceedings, he has been cooperative, respectful, and compliant." But obviously, this time around, Hal, it has not worked.
We thank you for watching. And
So Cassie had concerns. We saw the video. How many other videos were there? Were there any other videos from the raid of his home in regards to any concerns that him and Cassie had? Think about the video when Cassie was underneath the blanket. Remember how they had the therapist or the psychologist, whoever, speak up and speak out in regards to a person having concerns with a boyfriend, a husband, a mate, and them constantly going back and forth? How it was reported that he was going to leak the video of Cassie. And then remember how the mother had to pay money and then he returned the money to the mother? So many of these women have had concerns. Cassie, Jane Doe, Gina, Mia. These women have had so many concerns. For the jury to only, and now don't get this, take this with a grain of salt too. Each charge is 10 years. But who's to say if the judge is going to give him 10 years? Who's to say if the judge is even going to give 10 years? Like the videos, y'all come in. Like the videos, y'all come in.
bars until his sentencing. Combs will remain behind bars until his sentencing this fall. This is the second time the judge has denied a bail motion to release Combs. In his ruling, the judge said the hip-hop mogul, quote, fails to satisfy his burden to demonstrate an entitlement to release. Comes after one of Combs.
Let's get the likes up, y'all. There's 10 likes. There's about 212 in the building. If you can please hit the subscribe button and thank you. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Please subscribe. There's 212 in the building. Let's get the likes to 100, you guys. I want to continue with the show, but I have to always get the likes to at least 200 each show. It can't be less than 100. If you don't know where the like button is, all you have to do is double tap the screen. It's free to hit the like. Yes, it's free to hit the like. Just take 2 seconds to hit the button and thank you. Thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
His ex-girlfriend, Virginia Win, wrote a letter to the judge urging his release on bail. She was identified as victim 3 in the government's indictment against Combs, but ultimately did not testify in the trial. Combs was found guilty on 2 counts of interstate prostitution last month, but was acquitted on the more serious charges of racketeering and sex trafficking.
Were y'all surprised that he was not found guilty with racketeering? Were you guys surprised about that? Let me know in the comments. Hold on. You weren't surprised? Some of the lawyers kept saying they don't see it.
I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. That's why this message is not just to black people. You know what I'm saying? This message is to everybody. This man is really trying to turn us against each other and put us in a situation. America messed up.
Let's hear what he had to say. Let's continue. Oh, before I do that, let's hear what Trump had to say. Hold on. Oh, they're talking about him not giving him a pardon. I'll find a video of him saying no, he don't plan to release.
If since then, none of us expected. I think this president has done a great job of rattling America. When you move in fear, you don't have any leverage. The way I felt before is the way I still feel. Things have got too serious of a point. Seeing what's going on, white men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Okay, so this was 4 years ago when he sat down with Charlemagne the God. Like the video. Fair use reaction clip.
Yeah. We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. We're in a war of love versus hate. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death for this man is white people.
Explain.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war. If people in America want a race war, they'll not vote. I'm an independent, first of all. When I vote, I try to do what's best for my community.
So let's
Stokely, you know what I'm saying? I wish I could have seen a black man conversation. I couldn't have talked to nobody about what we want to talk about with you.
I rewinded it a little bit so y'all can hear what he had to say about Trump.
You know what I'm saying? That's a testament to your journalism. Man, you're inspiration to me.
I want to see where you at. You know, you sparked a
This is Diddy with Charlemagne the God 4 years ago.
crazy conversation. And you told everybody to hold their vote.
Yeah. So, a couple of months I told everybody hold their vote hostage. A lot of things have gone on since then. None of us expected. I think this president has done a great job of
I see your comment, bro.
America. When you move in fear, you don't have any leverage. The way I felt before is the way I still feel. Things have got too serious of a point. Seeing what's going on, white men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally in the lives of us and our families.
Like the video, like the video. There's about 304 in the building. Please don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to hit 50K next month. Thank you for being here, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
About going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Fair use reaction clip.
We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. And we're in a war of love versus hate. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death for this man is white people.
Explain.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war. If people in America want a race war, they'll not vote. I'm an independent, first of all. When I vote, I try to do what's best for my community.
Let's be clear on that. You're not standing behind your decision to hold your vote anymore. You want people to go out there and vote.
It would be irresponsible of me to have us hold our vote hostage. But it would also be irresponsible of me to just let this moment go by, that the world is watching, and not do everything I can to make sure that going forth, that we're a part of the narrative, that we own our politics. And so I'm launching one of the boldest movements that I've ever launched. And it's called Our Black Party.
Okay.
It's time for us to have our own black political party, unapologetically. Because right now, if you look at the debates, we're not even a part of the conversation.
Not at all.
We're not a part of the conversation. We don't have any political power. We don't have any political leverage. And so we started Our Black Party with some young, fearless black activists.
There's about 455 in the building. Good morning, everyone. Please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Let's continue. Fair use. Reaction clip.
Elected officials, and I've stepped up and put the money behind it. This is the biggest threat and the only option that we have right now as far as making a change, taking our own self-responsibility and accountability to be educated and empowered with our vote.
So what's the goal for our Black Party?
Like the video, like the video, like the video. We're just hearing what Diddy had to say about Trump 4 years ago. He sat down with Charlemagne the God for an interview. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. You guys, let's get the likes up. I want to continue with the show. The likes should be at 100. There's 371 in the building. Let's get the likes up, y'all. Let's get the likes up. Thank you. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. Please double tap that screen to hit the like. The like is above the video, below the video. Let's get the likes up.
Unify behind a black agenda. That's it. You could be a part of the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, you could be an independent. But if you're black, you wasn't born Republican, you wasn't born Democrat, you wasn't born independent, you was born black. And we have to seize our political power, because it'll just be more of the same. Being pushed this way, being pushed that way, and we expecting a different result. But the definition of insanity is like doing the same thing over and over the same way, expecting a different result, and it's not going to happen. So we have to change the tone. We got to start with us stepping up and really taking the responsibility and accountability to be a part of this political movement.
The hardest part of that is going to be getting other black people to buy into it.
This is not for all black people. You know what I'm saying? This is not for the scary ones. This is for the ones that want to move things forward and want to get to the smoke. A black person spends an average of like 5 hours on Instagram a day. If you could give Instagram that time, 15 minutes you could give to educating yourself. And our Black Party's that platform. So when we get down to the local elections, when we get down to the school board, we get down to the judges and the justices, that's so confusing for us. We've never played this game. This is another level of gangster. But I played this game before, you know? I started in 2004 when Voted died, and this is the evolution of that thought, of that empowerment, of that independence, of us taking self-accountability, so we're not caught with our pants down like this election. Right now, we're not going to get nothing. We're caught with our pants down. We're not organized. We're not ready to really take this on.
Let me ask you, what's the difference between Voted Die Diddy and Hold Your Vote Diddy? And what occurred between those two phases that made the change happen?
I went through the experience of politics. I played the game with the Democratic Party. The people that I went and campaigned for, after they got elected, I don't feel like they really did anything to change the reality of black people. Like I was blessed enough to find God come to me.
There's about 427 in the building. Please subscribe to the page. Let's get to 50K by next month. Thanks for tuning in. Fair use reaction clip. Let's continue to get the likes up, you guys. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. Please hit the like and thank you. Fair use reaction clip.
Tell me my purpose. And he told me my purpose is to play a part in saving the black race. The vote that died Diddy was about politics and, trying to be supportive. And also, they kind of guilt us in the votings, But as I evolved, I realized this is a business. This is a transaction. This is the closest thing to the streets than the streets that I've seen.
That's why I don't think there's nothing wrong with asking these politicians for something for you.
Yeah, you can't keep on giving your power away for free. This is black insanity. We keep on doing the same thing over and over, the same way, expecting a different result.
Like the video, like the video. Fair use reaction clip. This is what he had to say, and that's why Trump is a little mad. A lot mad. Big mad. Really upset. He said they were cool, but then once he got into office, Diddy start talking ish. Let's get the likes up, y'all. We're at 30 likes. We should already be at 100. Please, please, please double tap the screen. The likes should match the views. The likes should match the views. Yes, let's get the likes up so we can continue. Everybody got to do their part. I got quotas I have to meet. Super chats are welcome. $3, $5. Memberships are over there. Let's get the likes up. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Lingo is when you're in a situation like in a catch-22 between COVID hitting us and because we for this election, we have no choice now to get Trump out of there. It's a shame and it's our responsibility that we did not get anything out of putting Biden in the place he's in after the primaries.
They gave us Senator Harris as the VP. I mean, those are some of the things we were asking for. Black agenda could be way stronger, way stronger. He said he put a black woman on the Supreme Court. We don't even know if that's going to happen now.
Hey, when you look at it, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love the pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office, and then we got to hold him accountable.
So how do we do that? In addition to voting, what else is Sean Combs going to do?
From Trayvon Martin, I've been trying to figure out like how can we end this? Trying to think about solutions because you could be angry and you could march, you could protest, and could hear you, but that don't mean that they're making any changes. So for me, it was us looking within ourselves and saying, let's not wait for these people to come and save us. Let's not wait for the Democratic Party. Let's not wait for government. Let's own our politics. Black politics. We need to own that. We need to have a platform, an institution that's going to support and breed young black politicians and social leaders that have integrity, not just in the quiet rooms, publicly.
One question about race in the first presidency.
One question about race, and I was hurt. I didn't feel like Joe Biden really defended us.
So let me know in the comments. Do you think Donald Trump will pardon Diddy? Press 1 for yes. Press 2 for no. Do you think Donald Trump will pardon Diddy? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. It seems like if the bail was denied, he said he would consider. The bail has been denied. Do you think Trump's going to move on and not even make no more comments? Let me know in the comments. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Make sure we don't miss the importance of this time. We've never had a political party. We wasn't born Republican and Democrat. We don't even get we don't get talked about. We're not a topic of conversation. And we can stand by and keep on doing the same thing. Yes.
The Chevy Equinox.
Like the video, like the video. A lot of you feel that he's not going to pardon him. Do you think it has something to do with the list and all that's going on regarding that? Do you think it's just bad timing? Or do you think his team, Donald Trump's team, has said, this is what he said about you. If you pardon him, he said XYZ. Why should you pardon him? And it's almost like you got to remember, it's almost like he can't do favors. if they were cool, and is that why he's trying to downplay? Well, I knew the guy, but let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Who cares? You care because you're here and you're typing. Let's continue. You grabbing the tea. You grabbing the information. Let's get the likes up. There's about 449 in the building. If I can get all 449 to subscribe and thank you. We're trying to hit 50K next month. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Let's stay focused on Trump, but let's start to fight for our futures. And politically, the only way to do that is by what we're doing with our Black Party.
So what impact do you hope to have in advancing our political interests with our Black Party?
You know what it's about? Is like-minded people being able to have a place that they can meet and they can contribute. Because it's not about one person. This whole thing is set up on unity. Will we be able to finally have Black unity? Because if we don't, we're on the verge of becoming extinct.
So what does Black political power look like to you?
Black political power, it's all rooted in the education, and to be in control of our destiny. Not putting it in somebody else's hands that's coming from outside of the community or doesn't have the community's best interests at heart. And that's success. To me, it's the local election. It's not the presidential election. It's the local elections. In our neighborhoods, who's running our neighborhoods? Who are the judges that are being elected into office that's jailing us, that's keeping the same insanity? We got to be able to bang on another sophisticated level. And it's not hard to understand. This is not like a hard sell. But this is the most dangerous thing we could do. This is one of the biggest threats. This and us weaponizing our vote and weaponizing our dollar is a nightmare.
It's good to hear you say that, because a lot of people initially, when you first said what you said about holding your vote, they immediately was like, Diddy's rich. He wants to see Trump in the White House because it helps rich folks like him. So they thought that you was trying to sabotage the election.
People don't really know me. Like, I'm blessed that I have the money to start this political party. I'm not gonna make no apologies for how much cake I get. That has empowered me, but I know once I get it, I'm going.
Like the video. There's about 421 in the building. Please subscribe. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Thanks for being here, everyone. Please like the video. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before, where you're watching from. Thanks for being here. Hello, Chicago.
To fund the revolution. I'm a Black nationalist. I'm unapologetically Black. I have to take care of the tribe first. I cannot sit here and watch. This is my blood family.
Hello.
I can't worry about nothing else. I love everybody. But right now, I got to make moves, and I got to use my power for the advancement of Black people, because we last.
Have you ever?
Hello, Louisiana. Hello, Nigeria. Thanks for being here. Hello, Los Angeles.
Even thought about voting Republican for financial gain because of the tax bracket you're in?
No, that money's not all right. All I got to do is get to action.
Wow.
I don't care if you understand it, you don't understand it. I'm a warrior. I've been in head-to-head with these folks in corporate America. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they ask the question, is there systemic racism? And nobody answers the question.
Thanks, Anonymous.
Yo, no, hold on. This systemic racism, they trying to keep their foot on the neck. Up to my level, up to Jay-Z's level, up to LeBron's level. It's an illusion of inclusion by just a couple of us. So I can sit back here in the crib, but I'm not with it. I'm from that same block. I'm a frontliner. I'm with the smoke at any time, no matter where my address is at. We're in a war. This shit is not a fucking game. Everybody needs to wake up. I'm ringing the alarm. I'm having to start right now to organize.
Thank you for saying that, David. Real talk. A lot of people are saying that's a concern as well. Like the video. And also, RIP. If they would have been here as well, their situation to Cassie would have been parallel as well. Like the video. And have you noticed? I don't know if that name came up a lot in trial, because those bodyguards should have came to testify of what she went through. But since she's not, you know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Thanks for saying that, David.
And come together, and so we could build out.
Also, they're saying the information that Albie Shore put out, I can't confirm or deny what Albie Shore was stating, but he has not let up in regards to what happened. And some of that information has been removed and had to be deleted off Instagram. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Political army, unapologetically, for the things that matter to us.
Do you believe there's a way to vote and support it like your?
Yes. Justice for making the ban. Yes. Heavy D. And I'm surprised they didn't have some of the people that worked for him in regards to their careers. Some of those people should have hit the stand too. What they dealt with, um, the expectation, being able to sleep, being able to rest. People that he had worked with should have been able to take that stand, and that in itself should have been one day. That could have been one day of people that he was producing. Does that make sense? Thanks for being here, everyone. Continue to hit the like button. There's about 354 in the building. Please subscribe. People he worked for him and produced for. All those people should have been able to take the stand, and that should have been a 1 or 2 day situation. So the jury could know what people that he was produced or supposed to produce, how their careers took off or didn't take off, and what they experienced near or by him. Because remember, once the trial started, people did speak up. And then how Dawn, they were kind of upset at how she talked about, oh, when Cassie was trying to make eggs. Remember that? Cassie was trying to make eggs and he came at her with da 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 da. But the biggest thing is he dated other people outside of Cassie. It shouldn't have just been about Cassie and Jane Doe and Mia. It should have been he dated other people within the last 3 years. And that's kind of where they messed up.
Personal interest.
Let's
And the
continue.
interest of your people as a whole.
Yeah. See, when you at our black party, we
Exactly. We're going to ignore what's going to happen in regards to the civil lawsuits. When those civil lawsuits hit, they better have proof. They better have proof, or those civil lawsuits are going to be thrown out. Hospital records, police records, text messages. They better have proof in regards to X, Y, or Z. Let's continue fair use reaction clip. Continue to get the likes up, you guys. Let's get to 100 likes. Let's get to 100 likes. Please double tap the screen to hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Please double tap the screen and thank you. Hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. We're at 43 likes. We should already be at 100. We should already be at 100. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. Please get the likes up. I have to have certain quotas now, y'all. And it pushes me and it keeps me in the algorithm. I've been in the algorithm for a good 12 months and I want to stay. The likes should match the views. Let's get the likes up. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. This is Diddy talking to Charlemagne the God about 4 years ago. Let's continue. Fair use.
love free thinking, free minded people and individuals. That's all we want in life, is to be able to be free and to be able to think as free as we want. But you have a responsibility to your people to ride on what they riding with for the betterment of the good of the whole overall tribe. We are a people that have been abused the most. And we got to start biting their legs off.
Wow.
You know, when they put their foot on our neck, we got to start biting that shit off. When they shooting us in the back, we got to start defending ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing going to stop unless you stop it. It's black insanity. We have to get off of this. We have to wake up and see what's going on. The world is watching.
But it's such an easy conversation to have in regard to blackness, whether it's the way coronavirus impacted our communities, whether it's police brutality, all those underlying conditions that the black community was already facing. Coronavirus exposed. So it's an easy conversation to have, and they're still not willing to have it.
Everybody should have the same opportunity. I mean, anything else is ungodly.
Like the video. Fair use reaction clip. Let's get the likes up. Thank you for subscribing. If you already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. If you already subscribed, I'm letting this commercial go past. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
I mean, anything else is ungodly.
We did shift the conversation for a minute, though. Yeah. When you said to hold your vote, it did shift the conversation. So do you think that threat to hold your vote was more detrimental than beneficial? Because it sounds like you're saying.
I think to hold your vote.
Thanks for saying that, Howard. I kind of feel that people are feeling that way as well. Don't forget, you guys, we have memberships over there. Please don't forget, Super Chats are welcome. Super Chats is right next to the comment section. You can donate $2, $5, whatever you like to donate. Donate to your sister. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Is the only leverage that we've imposed.
Yes, thank goodness for judges.
We just fell in line. I mean, hold your vote was, you know, it's a tone that we should have had, but we didn't have it, and now we're in the trick bag. So we gotta, number one, Trump gotta go.
And then what?
We starting to take responsibility and we starting to invest in our futures politically. A lot of us as celebrities, we have great platforms, and we have to lend those platforms that we have to the right social.
Yeah, the rich, for sure, anonymous is anonymous, is treated so different. So different. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Political leaders, and we have to do it together. We need to wake up. We don't have a seat at the table. We don't need to wait because there's local elections going on. There's people that are planning right now for the future. We're using this as a springboard to not just give our vote away. We're gonna do what we have to do because it's between good and evil, but at the same time, we have to look out for ourselves.
So how can politicians earn the black vote? I think a lot of times we put so much black voters to show up for politicians, but we don't put enough pressure on politicians to show up for us. So how can they earn our vote?
Neither candidate has earned our vote or has even tried. They haven't even gone to our communities. When I say our communities I'm from where the roaches and the rats are. I live here now, and that's because, this is God's will, and I worked for it. But I still smell the pissy hallways. I still taste the cheese sandwiches. And so there's other people that are going through that and that are suffering. That's not in the illusion of everything going on the ground. We have a whole community of people, a mass of people that's living in poverty. Not everybody's black. It's all people that right now, they need us to step up and to stand up and to do something to change the trajectory. So if we have power, we gotta ride hard for the people that don't have the power.
I feel like you're approaching this the way you would approach corporate America.
I'm really approaching it like a war. Like, for me, the only way to really be honest about it is I have to declare war.
Isn't that what you did to corporate America, so to speak?
Yeah, but anything that's, that is about oppressing us and keeping.
Okay, so the statement that many people have talked about, let me go back and play that for 1 second.
Talk about the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's a testament to your journalism and inspiration.
I want to see where you at. I want to see where you at. You sparked a crazy conversation when you told everybody to hold their vote.
Yeah. So, a couple of months I told everybody hold their vote hostage. A lot of things have gone on since then. None of us expected. I think this president has done a great job of rattling America. When you move in fear, you don't have any leverage. The way I felt before is the way I still feel. Things have got too serious of a point. Seeing what's going on, white men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families.
Okay, so I'm about to get back to where he was a minute ago. Hold on, just give me a second. I just had to play that for people that's just now coming in. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. That's what he had to say, and that's the comment. That's where Trump might be bothered. Let's get the likes up, you guys. We're almost at 100. 50 people, please double tap the screen. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone or a tablet, press 1. Please hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. It's the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Let's get the likes up. We're at 51. Let's get to 100. We're at 51. Let's get to 100. Please double tap the screen. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get the likes up, and thank you. Thank you. Let's go. We're at 52. Let's get to 100. Please double tap that screen. Thank you. And also press 3 if you're new where you're watching from. Press 3 if you're new where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Feel the roaches. I still taste the cheese sandwiches. And so there's other people that are going through that and that are suffering. That's not in the illusion of everything going on the ground. We have a whole community of people.
Thanks, Anonymous. Anonymous.
People that's living in poverty. Not everybody's black. It's all people that right now, they need us to step up and to stand up and to do something to change the trajectory. So if we have power, we gotta ride hard for the people that don't have the power.
I feel like you're approaching this the way you would approach corporate America.
I'm really approaching it like a war.
Like the video, like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Let's continue. Let's let the commercial go past. Fair use reaction clip. Hello,
me,
hello.
The only way to really
good morning.
Be honest about it is I have to declare war.
Philadelphia, Jackson.
Yeah, but anything that's, that is about oppressing us and keeping us down, I want to break it. I want to break it.
Press 1 if you think Donald Trump will pardon him. Press 2 if you think Donald Trump will not pardon him. Press 1 if you think he'll pardon him. Press 2 if you think he will not pardon him.
Neck. I'm gonna run it out of town forever. So I'm not like, nah. This is what we doing. We're gonna do it legally. All right? We're gonna do it legally. We're gonna play your game, but we're gonna play that game better. Because these older cats that's running for office, these white-haired older cats, they're about to be dead. These kids out here, they want to live. They want to fucking thrive. They can't thrive if it keeps on going in this direction. And this election is an example. This is a tipping point because they haven't talked about the youth and they haven't talked about black people. I haven't even heard them talk.
This is P. Diddy with Charlemagne the God 4 years ago. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
About Latinos. They're not even talking about us. They're in a reality fucking freak show playing the game and people are losing their lives. And so that's why this time is so important. And this time for us to mobilize and to not be scared and to do something. Why have we never had our own black political party? Fuck that. We're doing it now. I don't care if it's just 1,000 of us. It's 1,000 real ones, which it should be millions. It should be every person that's a part of the community. If you can sign up for Instagram, you can sign up for our black party.
Sound to me like you think we're on the verge of a civil war.
If Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. And that's why this message is not just to black people. You know what I'm saying? This message is to everybody. This man is really trying to turn us against each other and put us in a situation. You got to understand, America messed up. They flooded the hood with guns. So I don't know this notion of we don't have guns.
They plotted to kidnap the governor of Michigan. White supremacists. So that what you're saying is true. Yes, it's
I remember that.
There's going to be problems, and he's stirring it up.
Yeah, and so I feel the way we can stop us from getting to that point of violence is all unifying together and voting him out. This whole thing is set up, even at my level. You know what I'm saying? Even at the level of hip hop. Things are set up to try to stop us from growing and being.
See, he's talking about the industry at his level. Press 1 if you think Donald Trump will pardon him. Press 2 if you think Donald Trump will not pardon him. This was 4 years ago, his conversation with Charlemagne. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button.
As great as we want to be. So the same thing with Revolt. I had to go and really go to war with all of the distributors.
Some say they don't think he needs Trump. So this is the other question. Do you think that he'll get time served? Press 1. Do you think that he'll get less than 5 years? Press 2. Do you think he'll get over 5 years? Press 3. Do you think he'll get over 10 years? Press 3. 4. Let me know in the comments. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
And people have fell in line, but it's not easy. It's not easy for me, for Jay, for Oprah. They still treat us like niggas. Whatever we are right now, we could probably be 10 times bigger. So we starting right now
5 to
with
7
political power, and then we going.
You think 5 to 7, Anonymous? And do you think the reason why he's pushing his team to get him pardoned, he don't want the judge to make a decision because he wants to get out, move on with his life? He thought with all the bail packages, he thought he was going to be able to get out, but that hasn't happened. So Anonymous said 5 to 10. You said 10. So that's why they're pushing to get him out, because when he said he'll consider it, remember, Trump had said he'll consider it if the bail was denied, but then Trump said he's not going to do it. Could you imagine sitting in jail? Okay, the bail's denied. Okay, Trump's about to pardon me, and it didn't happen. Let's continue. It didn't happen, but his lawyers are asking for him to be pardoned. Let's continue.
Our economics and war will be waged on corporate America that takes advantage of our dollars and thinks we're not going to fight back.
You think we spend too much time glorifying like rap?
Hold on. Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Please make sure you're subscribing, you guys. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Please make sure you're subscribing. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Please hit the subscribe button. Please continue to hit the like button. Let's continue. The commercial's over. Fair use reaction clip.
Like rap and entertainment and athletics, and we weren't encouraging our kids to be elected officials, be politicians, be police officers, whatever it was. You think we spend too much time focusing on people on the wrong things?
Not at all. I think the people that have made it, it's important now that we don't become an illusion of inclusion. The people that made it are definitely points of inspiration globally, because this is a global problem. You see what's going on in Nigeria. What's going on around the world. It's a global problem, the whole global diaspora. Us making it and hip-hop being at the forefront, and sports being at the forefront, that was a part of the evolution. And entertainment, now we have to break down the doors into other fields. You know, it has to go from inside out. So everybody we hire and people we do business with, we got to make sure that they really have African American diversity. So we got to weaponize our vote, and we got to weaponize our economy. Right now, we're talking about the solution for the vote, for voting, and for politics. You're going to have to fight a war for us to own our economics, and we're going to have to fight a war for us to own our politics.
Biden's decision to pick Kamala Harris as his running mate, that didn't convince you that he was for the black community in any capacity?
It was a historic, beautiful day. You know, and just having 3 girls and having them be able to witness that is great. It pushed me, it moved me. You know, black women have, got us to this point. To see him recognize that, I started feeling a little bit better. I think we all did start to feel a little bit better. And it's helpful that we will have her in there because we need to keep her and him accountable. And at least we have,
Remember, once he's sentenced, the civil lawsuits will start. That's why they're pushing to get him out. Those conversations about the civil lawsuits will start as soon as he's sentenced. That's why he's pushing to get out. Don't forget about that. And those civil lawsuits better have proof. Police reports, hospital records, text messages, any concerns that those civil lawsuits have, they should have proof. Don't be bringing up anything frivolous. People don't want to see that or hear that. How we thought this trial was going to go, many people didn't feel that it went the way it should have because the house was raided. They didn't even talk a lot about that. They were talking a lot about Cassie and Gina and Jane Doe. Let's continue fair use reaction clip.
Somebody that we could dialogue with, somebody that we could relate to in office. But his cabinet is going to have to reflect that. And that's why, our Black Party is going to keep that pressure on. He has 4 years of pressure. As we mobilize and we build this thing, we're going to be in their face, in the administration's face, talking about our agenda.
I refuse to believe that nobody from the camp reached out to you.
The regular, just the regular ways of, wanting to get celebrities to support it. It's not just about this election. I'm trying to come up with a solution for future elections.
So when you said hold your vote, they reached out and they was like, well, how can we get you on board? How can we get you on?
I didn't have conversations. I don't really like, really getting on the phone and talking to politicians. I didn't meet and really talk to Obama until, after he was out of office. So with politics, I try to stay away from that. It's like Trump's camp tried to reach out. The thing wasn't, how can I get one of them in office? My thing is, how can I end this black insanity of us continuing to be a part of a team that doesn't love us? How can we create our own team?
That's a question. Will voting prevent bloodshed? Meaning like, okay, we get Trump out.
Don't forget, this is Charlamagne the God with Diddy 4 years ago. Let's continue fair use reaction clip.
Will that prevent bloodshed?
The only thing that will prevent bloodshed is if they stop killing us. ... I don't think that us as a people can handle like one more hashtag. I know we're at the breaking point. There's a new Negro. That new Negro, that new black person is not scared. It's not fearful. They're not afraid to die. They understand that this is life and that violence has to be an option. What will give us some time to really step into the momentum of the unity and love is let's get Trump out of office. If Trump's in office, there's going to be bloodshed.
Well, then you're going to have Trump supporters who pissed off that he's not in there no more. So they're going to get buck regardless.
Yeah, if they get buck,
we got enough.
No, if they get buck, I wish they would. Word. They get buck, we're going to eat their arms off. We're not going to keep on playing with these people. We have one job first right now, and that's to get Trump out of office. And then what we could do that is a nonviolent action is we could mobilize and organize politically.
Yeah, when you keep talking about mobilizing and organizing, that's literally all you've been doing your entire career, though.
Yes.
Like, you mobilize people to go to the liquor store. You mobilize people to buy records. You mobilize people, to buy clothes. Like, you should be able to do that when it comes to politics.
You have a lot of scary people. People are with, incremental change. That's not going to get us anywhere. If we stay on this trajectory, in 30 years, we'll have zero wealth. And all of that is tied back to if we unify. We don't unify politically, we don't unify economically, and most importantly, we don't unify in love, then we're not going to last. They have us on a planned trajectory in 30 years for my daughters and sons to be broke. Everybody to be broke.
Fair use reaction clip. Now, don't forget, he asked Gina to write a letter for him, but this is what Gina had to say years ago. Hold on.
But he like stomped on my stomach like really hard, and I like took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, and he kept hitting me, and I was like pleading to him, like, can you stop? I can't breathe. And he like stopped for a little bit. He like grabbed my hair from the back and like was like punching the back of my head, because he was just avoiding my face when he was like hitting me. He like.
But he had her write a letter on his behalf. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Back to the video. This is Diddy talking to Charlemagne the God.
I wonder if we should be the ones having these conversations, or should we be standing by the people who really, really do this for a living and empowering them?
When I build my businesses, I put best in class in there. So our Black Party is going to have best in class in all areas, people from our community. And we have to unapologetically do that. And sometimes people are in big positions. You may be working at Google. You may be working at this bank. You have to come and give that information to your people. So it's bigger than me, and it's bigger than any of us.
Did you have a relationship with Trump ever? You know, Trump loved the hip-hop community at one point. Hip-hop loved him.
He would pop up at events. We respected him as a shrewd businessman. He definitely embodied the hip-hop spirit, but God had different plans for him. God wanted to use him in this moment for change. He wanted to use Trump to expose the level of racism that's been hidden.
You operating from a place of no fear. Do you think that they will try to threaten your bottom line?
I don't have no fear. I believe in my people. I believe that, that we're gonna stick together. Yeah, I don't have no fear how they gonna feel about it. Somebody need to be telling them this shit, because they too reckless. I wouldn't be loved if I wasn't saying this. If we mob up, we will break them easily.
Wow.
But if you're not mobbing up through the situations we in right now to go to really take advantage of this moment, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Until we have a system that serves us, right? What can we do as a people to continue building and growing in this country, just amongst each other?
Speak up, man. Speak up. Speak up. Do something. And that's whatever you can do every day to move it forward.
To mobilize people for something that can really create some change in our communities. I think you're doing that now.
Yeah.
I think you're doing that now by simply using your voice and directing people towards the right people. That's what I said when it's like, yo, yeah, that's Tamika Mallory over there. That's Tesla Figaro over there. That's Nina Turner over there. That's Angela Rye over there. Like, let's point people in the direction. That's Wes Bellamy over there. Let's point people in the direction of people who are doing that work all the time.
Exactly. And that's what we could come together and do, and make sure that also we have a younger generation. We can still support the...
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the video. I hope everyone has hit subscribe. There's about 197 in the building. Please don't forget to hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Let's get the likes up, y'all. There's 68 likes, 69 likes. Thank you. As you come in, please hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes, you guys. If you're watching from a phone, tablet, please hit 1 and hit the like button. It's the thumbs up above the video, below the video. YouTube makes it easy. All you have to do is double tap that screen. We're at 69 likes. Let's get to 100. We're at 69 likes. Let's get to 100. Thank you. Hit the like button so we can continue. Let's get the likes up. Certain quotas I have to meet. Hitting the like button pushes me into the algorithm. Let's get the likes up. Please double tap that screen. If you already subscribed, thank you. If you already hit the like, thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
And directing people towards the right people. That's what I said when it's like, yo, yeah, that's Tamika Mallory over there. That's Tesla Figaro over there. That's Nina Turner over there. That's Angela Rye over there. Like, let's point people in the direction. That's Wes Bellamy over there. Let's point people in the direction of people who are doing that work all the time.
Exactly. And that's what we could come together and do, and make sure that also we have a younger generation. We can still support, no disrespect to the people that brought us to this point. You know what I'm saying? I give thanks, and I thank God for the people that were actually fighting to get us to this point. Now we got to join them. We got to join them. And another thing, my message to the kings before we get off, we got to really get into this fight. We're really absent in this war. We're really absent in this war.
You mean the lack of black men who vote?
Just, I'm not going to go too deep in it, but the front line is really full of a lot of
it is
banging by themselves, taking a lot of disrespect. You know, we just got to be there. We got to be there more to make sure we supporting how hard they going. You know what I'm saying? We got to follow their lead.
All our greatest leaders right now are black women.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So I give thanks to God for black women, and I want to just say, you know, to all the black kings out there, let's stop playing.
What will your legacy be when it comes to advancing black political power?
Good question.
My legacy will be that I played my part. You know what I'm saying? And I went all out on my business ventures and the records that I made. It's coming with that level of soul and intensity and fearlessness.
Or I'm riding with you, King.
Let's continue, y'all. Okay. Fair use reaction clip. Let's get the likes up though for the next clip. Hold on one second. Let's get the likes up. If you did not know, Diddy's team is trying to get him a pardon through Trump. Will Trump pardon him?
It's a great victory for the jury system. You saw that the Southern District of New York prosecutors came at him with all that they had. They're not stopping, but one thing stands between all of us and a...
Wait.
This case was tried for the defense by Mark's daughter, Tenny Garagos, who, no matter what you think of Diddy, and the audience knows I'm not a fan.
I want to go here
she
first.
Crushed it, Mark. I mean, there's no question this was a huge defense verdict, even though he was convicted on the 2 lesser charges. But I mean, huge victory for the defense. So hats off to your daughter.
You know what I can tell you is I sat and watched her opening statement, and I was in the kind of the back right in where the family was, and all I could think of, I'll reminisce just a minute, was my father, who was also a homicide prosecutor, formerly like Matt, recovering when he was in partnership with me, and I was thinking he was one generation away from his mother escaping the Turks and the Armenian genocide, and here is his granddaughter giving this opening statement. So it was quite a moment to watch it. You're right, she did crush it.
That's awesome. Honestly, good for her. I'm not one of those loons who can't separate the lawyer from the person. It's like, it doesn't mean any defense lawyer is endorsing a person or saying anything whatsoever about whether the person did the thing or didn't do the thing. We need defense lawyers.
Hold on.
Once nice to you,
it's a great victory.
On you,
hold on.
he doesn't deserve a favor from you.
I ran my first marathon in 2021.
To stop in 2020. Here's a clip from Charlotte
Hold on.
on his show going over some of that. Watch.
White men like Trump.
From you, who he worked actively to stop in 2020. Here's a clip from Charlemagne on his show going over some of that. Watch.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking,
it's a great victory.
Dangerous. When you look at it, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love the pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office, and then we got to hold him accountable.
Okay, so that was Diddy giving Charlemagne an interview, making clear how anti-Trump he was. And on top of that, and more importantly, he is a serial woman abuser, the likes of which we haven't seen in modern America, at least not on the public stage in this way. He is a repeated serial abuser. He beat those women to a pulp and didn't even deny it.
Allegedly.
They admitted expressly domestic abuse over and over and over again, something the judge used against them when they pled for bail. And they said, please let him stay out on bail pending sentencing. So he doesn't deserve any sort of a pardon. He got away with all of that. He's only being sentenced when he gets sentenced on these minor crimes of basically engaging in prostitution and transporting people for the purpose of it. So he got away with the most serious crimes. And so 2 things. Number one, what's Trump in trouble over when it comes to Epstein? He's in trouble because he is making it look like, to the MAGA base, he's part of the elite cabal that covers for other members of the elite cabal. And they don't like that. They elected Trump because he promised not to be one of them, but to bust up them, those groups, and work with the people against them. So this would not help. Not at all. And there are a lot of people.
Like the video. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Like Viva Frei, who comes on the show as a legal commentator a lot, who already thinks the whole Diddy trial was just a show trial so that, he could be found guilty on a couple of minor things, but the real meat of the Diddy case, which is how many other people were being provided access to young men and others and drugs at these parties of note, like famous celebrities, and somehow that's been kept up. So there's already people thinking that there's a cover up here. Trump pardoning Diddy will create another Epstein for him. It would be a nightmare. And last and certainly not least, the GOP is already struggling with female voters. And they're not all lefties. There are young conservative women who aren't in love with Trump or MAGA. There are. And this will not help. It's very clear. We all saw the videotape of him beating the hell out of Cassandra Ventura, but there was so much more testimony about the other women he repeatedly beat all the way up to when he was arrested.
Exactly.
He doesn't deserve any of Trump's mercy.
Yep. Let's continue. Fair use. Reaction clip. Let's get the likes up, y'all. We're almost at 100. If we can get 50 people to double tap that screen, let's continue. Let's continue. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. If you're just not coming in, we listened to what Diddy had to say to Charlemagne the God 4 years ago. We're listening to what people's responses is. Will he get pardoned? Press 1 if you think Donald Trump will give him a pardon. Press 2 if you think Donald Trump will not give him a pardon. Let's continue.
Citizens, and we had a wonderful jury. They listened to every word, and they got the situation right, or certainly right enough.
It was a huge victory for Diddy Combs, but he wasn't released from jail. He was convicted of the most minor of all the charges. His sentencing is scheduled for October, but he's been trying desperately to get out of jail, pending his sentencing. And guess who's coming to his aid? One of the alleged victims in the case who wrote a letter. Take a listen as one of our producers reads that letter to the judge.
My name is Virginia Hoon, and I'm writing as the person identified as victim 3 in this case. I have known Sean Combs for many years, in both a personal and professional capacity. From that experience, I have seen him primarily as a father, a family man, and a businessman, roles that he has always striven to uphold. I provide this letter to share my observations about his character and to respectfully request that the court permit his release on bond while the case proceeds. Our relationship, like many, was not always perfect. We experienced ups and downs, and mistakes were made, but he was willing to acknowledge his mistakes and make better decisions in the future. Over the years that followed, he made visible efforts to become a better person and to address the harm he had caused. By the time our relationship ended, he embodied an energy of love, patience, and gentleness that was markedly different from his past behavior. To my knowledge, he has not been violent for many years, and he has committed to being a father first. I am writing because I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or to the community. I want to assure the court that if released, I believe Mr. Combs will adhere to all conditions imposed and will...
Now, these are her opinions. Remember, this is Gina writing a letter to the court. She didn't show up to court. She resurfaced after the jury started deliberating. Now she's writing a letter on his behalf. It's being stated she was victim number 3. Why would you be writing a letter if you're victim number 3? And we heard the interview. People heard the interview 3-4 years ago. Who made that decision to have her write a letter when it could have been any other woman he dated? He's dated other people after Cassie. Y'all note in the comments who he dated after Cassie. Let's get to it. Let's continue with Gina's letter to the court. Good move, bad move. Do you think it was a good move for Gina to write the letter or a bad move? If you were supposed to show up to court to testify, you were allegedly MIA, and then you resurfaced after jury deliberated. Was it a good move for Gina to write the letter or a bad move? Now does it seem like they're desperate for a pardon? Let's continue fair use reaction clip.
His freedom or the well-being of his family. Respectfully, Virginia Hoon.
Now, despite that effort and, wanting to post tens of millions of dollars and in all the conditions, take a look at what happened. The judge denied it. The motion for bail is denied, so ordered, dated August 4th, 2025. Let's bring back in our think tank, Al Wunsch, Darnell Cross, and Jennifer Brandt. The judge doesn't want to let him out, so that's not going to happen. Like, they've tried everything. But what does it tell us, Darnell, right now about...
Many people were wondering, why did she shift? Why did she go MIA? And now you're writing a letter. What lawyer decided that? And who helped her write that letter? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
What's happening here, if you've got a jury that comes back and dismisses almost all the charges except the trafficking of the male prostitutes who were flown in to have sex, to get paid to have sex with his girlfriends, right? That's what he got convicted of.
I like how you said that, behavior bender. Yes, sounds like case of trauma bonding. I think so. I mean, when you think of Jane Doe, how her rent was still being paid during the time of the trial, how allegedly he was paying for her lawyers. And then remember how, wasn't the chef stating people were contacting her and wanting to help with her lawyer fees as well? Allegedly. Why would Gina shift and change? Why would she go MIA? Why would she not take the stand? Because many people feel, allegedly their feelings, that her and Cassie's situation would have been too parallel. Cassie moved on, married. They had their situationship. Jane Doe, he's paying for her rent and lawyers. So now it makes him look like a good guy. Bringing Gina into and taking the stand and testifying makes it look too parallel to Cassie. Real talk. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Not guilty of everything else. One of the alleged victims now writing letters to the judge on his behalf. What's going on here?
Right.
Well, first of all, this is ridiculous.
Thank you.
If you remember the boxer Jack Johnson, he was arrested under the Same Man Act because he would cross state lines with white women, and they didn't want that. And famously, you could read he's flying down the road with the white woman in the car, and the police stop him. They say, we got to give you a ticket. He says, how much? They said $100. He said, here's $200. I'll be back in an hour, same speed. This is a ticket. No one gets prosecuted for this Mann Act. And the only reason why he's in jail now is because they say technically that there's a presumption that under that charge, bail is supposed to be denied. Not that he's a danger, but there's a carve out that says this is not a bailable offense. But other than that, I mean, he should be home. This judge, I think, is upset that he beat the major charges, and a lot of people just can't believe it. And I hate to say it, but the courts, if they're cheering for one side or the other, this is the time for them to show their power and say, hey, we want this side. This, the least we can do is keep you in. And I think that's what this is about.
Al, I'm not a Diddy fan, and no one believes that any of this behavior was correct, but we have to evaluate our system day in and day out. Is this the way it normally goes? This is how it goes? You fly a male prostitute in, you pay him, and then he has sex with your girlfriend, and then you go to prison for years?
It's a violation of the law, and he was convicted.
Where are the feds on Super Bowl weekend? Why don't they do something on Super Bowl weekend? You know how many prostitutes are flown into the Super Bowl city every year?
Like the video. Fair use reaction clip. Thanks for being here, everyone. Good afternoon. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before and where you're watching from. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
You're going to arrest all of those men and send them to federal prison?
This was part of the charges. This wasn't the only charges he was charged with, as we know. There were a lot more serious charges against him, the trafficking and all those things along those lines, which the jury did not find him to be guilty of. They did find he was guilty of this. There is a carve-out that says he's not entitled to bail. Why would he be given special treatment just because he gets a letter? And in fact, that letter was kind of bizarre, too, because she refers to him as accused. He's a little past the accused stage at this point. He's convicted.
Right.
So, under the circumstances...
But again, convicted of...
Good afternoon, Tennessee. Good afternoon, Missouri. Thanks for being here, everyone. Continue to hit the like. Thank you.
Convicted of what? Is I guess really what we're talking about. Like,
convicted of the violation of the Mann Act. He's convicted of the violation of the Mann Act. He is not accused anymore of any. He is a convicted felon.
But I mean, I've seen people in the news. One of them was, I think, the son of a president did the same thing. Nothing happens. Like, what's going on? Is this selective prosecution? Why Diddy, Jennifer Brandt? I'm not, and again, I'm not a Diddy fan. Don't like the behavior. Like, all this stuff is crazy. But I'm just going by, like, how our system treats everyone with a blindfold. Is that happening here, Jennifer Brandt?
Yeah. Well, we know it's not a blindfold, and I think the judge is trying to make a lesson and trying to give him a lesson out of him. He's well known. He's, there was a lot of attention on this trial. It's not a bailable offense, so the judge is taking a hard line and saying, no, you'll stay in jail until sentencing, and then we'll, see what happens from there. They're not going to give him special treatment, and I think it's because of his fame that it's hurting him at this point, not helping him.
So, Darnell, is this sort of a prelude to what's going to happen to him at sentencing? That he's going to get the high end of all this? Because it's quite a range and the prosecution defense not even close to agreeing in the amount of time here.
Well, that's the funny thing about this. When you pray, as a practicing attorney, you must learn to pray. And when you pray, your prayers sound like this. I hope and pray that he denied this bail because he's given the prosecution this card, given one for them by keeping them in, and then when the sentencing comes, let him go. Because sometimes when you're getting yelled at and screamed at a certain juncture in the proceeding, you may get some sunshine at the other side. Even though other times you're getting love and you see all this love, and then boom, you get hammered at the end. So I'm hoping and praying, and I'm sure other people are as well, because I don't agree with this Mann Act charge. So if he's leaving him in a little bit of a punishment, weekend jail, sometimes we ask judge, can you just raise my client's bond, put him in for a weekend, give him let him get the point, and then reduce the bond so he's not convicted. Maybe this is one of those plays. So I'm hoping that's what it is, but we have to wait and see.
Let me ask you, Al, who's the victim in his crime?
The girlfriends. But they didn't, the woman that wrote the letter didn't testify. So, that's the situation.
So for the Mann Act, the victim is the person who the prostitute was paid to have sex with?
No, it's you're talking about with regards to the victim of the Mann Act. The victim of the Mann Act would be the fact that it was money procured to bring someone over for the purpose of having sex with someone who may have been against their will.
But he wasn't convicted. It wasn't convicted of against their will.
But that was what he was charged with, though. So that's parcel of that offense. It's a lesser included offense as to what he was charged with.
All right.
Look, the bottom line is this. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with Darnell that, what's happened in the past with regards to this, especially with regards to, African.
Sentencing is supposed to be in October. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
American defendants is not right, and it has been a horrendous situation. But he was convicted of this offense. He did not give him bail, and the judges being
time. Al, watch Darnell Cross.
Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Like the video as y'all come in. Like the video as y'all come in. If you're just now coming in, please like the video. I hope everyone has subscribed. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before and where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Yes, it's October.
Locked up afterward. Today, the judge shot down Diddy's latest attempt at bail, citing, and I quote, violence, coercion, or subjugation in connection with the acts of prostitution at issue. Now, sentencing is set for October 3rd, and the feds are pushing for 4 more years in
October
prison.
3rd.
Is Diddy's fate really up to the judge? To any judge in any court? Possibly not. President Donald Trump has said he is open to the idea of pardoning Diddy.
That was 2 weeks ago.
What happened with bail? Now we know. So while we wait for the next development, got a lot to talk about. I want to bring in somebody who's made these kinds of decisions herself. Tarlika Nunez-Navarro is a former judge, prosecutor, and defense attorney, is now the dean of the St. Thomas University College of Law. Thank you so much for coming on, Judge Navarro. Okay, you surprised by the decision to deny bail? Now, of course.
Let's get the likes up, you guys. Can I get 20 people to please hit that like button? 20 people to please hit that like button. There's about 164 in the building. Can I please get 164 people to hit the subscribe button? And thank you. Let's get the likes up. We're still on the struggle bus with the likes. Let's get the likes up so we can continue. Let's get the likes to 100. Double tap that screen to hit the like. We all got to do our part. To hit the like is free, free, free. Super chats are welcome. It's right by the comment section. $2, $5, $6. Let's get the likes up. Let's go. Thank you, thank you. Let's get the likes up. We're 82. Let's get the likes to 100 so we can continue. Let's get the likes to 100 so we can continue. Thank you. Let's get the likes to 100 so we can continue. You already hit the like button. Thank you. Let's get the likes to 100. Please double tap the screen. If you're watching from a phone, I know it's a tablet or phone. All it takes is to hit the double tap the screen. Thumbs up video.
Decision to deny bail. Now, of course, right? This is a judge who's denied bail in the past, but things have changed. He was acquitted of the most serious charges. They briefed their arguments, still denied it. What do you think?
Jesse, I'm not surprised at all. Very surprised to the contrary if he did actually grant bail. This is a case built on violence, coercion, and threats, and I think the judge made that clear. And there's just no exceptional circumstances here why a bond should be granted.
Let me counter that, because I read their brief, and they basically said, okay, well, wait a second. He was only convicted of Mann Act violations. They looked at the case law. They looked at other cases where nobody who was convicted of Mann Act violations that didn't involve a prostitution business, right? There was no financial gain. There was no sex trafficking. They, A, wouldn't have faced a prosecution like this. B, they wouldn't be sitting in jail waiting for sentencing. And they also said, look, we're putting together a very exhaustive bail package like we have in the past. Circumstances have changed. He's not facing the most serious charges. You should entertain this once again. He got his life back by being acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking. He's not going to do anything to jeopardize that. Whatever conditions the court will put on, we will do. And by the way, talking violence, one is an incident that was almost 10 years ago. The other one was, they basically said the violence that occurred with Jane, one of the accusers in this case, was basically, she might have instigated it. A lot of arguments they threw out. None of that you think that the judge should have considered.
But see, if all his other girlfriends for the last 3 years didn't hit that stand, how could a decision be made? So did they sway the other 3 to 4? How many ever girlfriends he had in the last 3 years? How is it that those other girlfriends didn't take the stand? Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Let's continue to get the likes up, and thank you for being here, everyone. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before, where you're watching from.
A little more closely. Not that he didn't consider it, but didn't side with them.
Listen, I think the judge took into account what he heard at trial, and he can do so. Diddy has a propensity of violence, and that doesn't change with $50 million or with $1 million. This statute is very clear. They must remain behind bars absent exigent circumstances, and there are none.
His team also filed a motion for judgment of acquittal, basically getting the charges thrown out. They echo a lot of the arguments I just laid out. Sprinkled in a few other ones, like a First Amendment argument, basically saying, he wasn't engaging in prostitution, but amateur voyeurism, amateur pornography. He was videotaping these events, these freak-offs, these hotel nights. It was for personal use, that the intent was not to hire these men for sex work before their time. You think the judge is going to entertain that at all?
I don't. I think this is just standard procedure for a defense attorney, but I do not think a retrial will be granted.
What about the MDC? So I forgot to mention this too. They said the MDC is plagued with violence and issues. He's had a threat upon himself. The judge seemed to say, yeah, but security kind of protected him. Do you think that argument was discounted, the dangers of the MDC where he's currently been since September?
You can look at it 2 different ways. You can look at it like the judge did, yeah, but he was protected, which he was, or he is actually in danger. But the jail has done a tremendous job to date on protecting him, and I don't see any reason for him to get out now. I think the judge got it right there as well.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
So let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in. Like the video as you guys come in.
Diddy can't stand you, Mr. President. He was once nice to you, he's turned on you, and he doesn't deserve a favor from you, who he worked actively to stop in 2020. Here's a clip from Charlemagne on his show going over some of that. Watch.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. When you look at it, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love to pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office, and then we got to hold him accountable.
Okay, so that was Diddy giving Charlemagne an interview, making clear how anti-Trump he was. And on top of that, and more importantly, he is a serial woman abuser, the likes of which we haven't seen in modern America, at least not on the public stage in this way. He is a repeated serial abuser. He beat those women to a pulp and didn't even deny it. He didn't deny it. They admitted expressly domestic abuse over and over and over again, something the judge used against them when they pled for bail. When they said, please let him stay out on bail pending sentencing. So he doesn't deserve any sort of a pardon. He got away with all of that. He's only being sentenced when he gets sentenced on these minor crimes of basically engaging in prostitution and transporting people for the purpose of it. So he got away with the most serious crimes. And so two things. Number one, what's Trump in trouble over when it comes to Epstein? He's in trouble because he is making it look like to the MAGA base he's part of the elite cabal that covers for other members of the elite cabal.
Alleged.
And they don't like that. They elected Trump because he promised not to be one of them.
Facts.
But to like bust up them, those groups, and work with the people against them. So this would not help. Not at all. And there are a lot of people like Viva Frei, who comes on the show as a legal commentator a lot, who already thinks the whole Diddy trial was just a show trial so that, you know, he could be found guilty on a couple of minor things. But the real meat of the Diddy case, which is how many other people were being provided access to young women and others and drugs at these parties of note, you know, like famous celebrities, and somehow that's been kept up. So like there's already people thinking that there's a cover up here. Trump pardoning Diddy will create another Epstein for him. It would be a nightmare. And last and certainly not least, the GOP is already struggling with female voters, and they're not all lefties. There are young conservative women who aren't in love with Trump or MAGA. There are. And this will not help. It's very clear. We all saw the videotape of him beating the hell out of Cassandra Ventura, but there was so much more testimony about the other women he repeatedly beat all the way up to when he was arrested. He doesn't deserve any of Trump's mercy.
There's that. Fair use reaction clip. Let's continue.
New chapter after his guilty verdicts. In court docs obtained by E! News, the Bad Boy Records founder filed a new motion July 30th, requesting to either overturn his convictions or grant the 55-year-old a brand new trial. Less than a month after Combs was convicted for transportation to engage in prostitution, his attorneys calling the verdict unprecedented, alleging Combs never actually committed illegal acts as the law describes, saying in their motion Combs, at most, paid to engage in voyeurism as part of a swinger's lifestyle. That does not constitute prostitution under a properly limited definition of the statutory term. The media mogul's legal team demanding an acquittal, and if not, they'll request a fresh start in court without evidence tied to his not guilty verdicts surrounding charges for racketeering and sex trafficking. This comes after the trial judge denied Diddy's request to be released on bail, leaving him behind bars in his New York City detention center, where the rapper awaits his sentencing hearing scheduled for October 3rd. E! News has reached out to Diddy's prosecutors for comment, but has not yet heard back.
Do you think that Trump will pardon him? Press 1. Do you think that Trump will pardon him? Press 1. If you think that Trump will not pardon him, press 2.
There was a letter from Gina, the defense filed the latest motion for bail, which was denied. But in that motion, there was a letter from Gina, a former girlfriend of Sean Combs, who was supposed to be victim number 3. Now, the prosecution, they issued a subpoena on Gina, and she was not called to testify. Prosecutors said ahead of the trial that they essentially lost touch with her and her attorney. What happened there? Was she ever cooperating with prosecutors, to your knowledge?
That's almost jokeable. It's just, this isn't funny, but if the government wanted to find Miss Gina and bring her into that courtroom, they most definitely would have. So I can't find her. I don't, you know.
Do you know, though?
The government has subpoena power. Federal agents, they would have brought her in.
Do you know, though, to your knowledge, did she ever meet with prosecutors? Was she ever cooperating with their investigation? Because she was in the indictment as victim number 3.
So she definitely was in the indictment, and if the government wanted her to come into that courtroom, and if they thought that she had something criminal or negative to say in reference to Mr. Combs, they would have forced her to do so. That's what subpoena power is. So, you know,
it would have made it parallel. I keep saying that. Cassie and Gina's situation allegedly would have been parallel. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
A federal judge just... We have news in another major New York case.
I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
A federal judge just denied Diddy's 5th request for bail.
Diddy cannot fulfill his burden of
convincing the judge by clear and convincing evidence that he's not a flight risk, and that he's not a threat to the public and to the witnesses and anybody who may have been against him.
The music mogul's sentencing is still set for October 3rd. The judge's denial came after Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Gina Win, pled for his release. This, even though she previously claimed Diddy abused her, which he's denied.
He started punching me on the side of my head, and I was just covering my face.
Gina's testimony and support of Diddy certainly was a surprise. She was going to be the government witness, then she backed off on that and is in support of Diddy at this point.
Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Like the videos y'all coming in. Thanks for being here.
This is the famous footwear that told everyone which Rickenbacker twin was which.
Birthday, we were at birthday. He had a mansion party, and we went. But while we were there, I was sitting here, and then Puff, and then Meek. But I was covered with a stand or something. Probably says Happy Birthday Meek or something like that. But it's a little stand that was covering me because there was a lot of cameras and stuff there. So it was me, Puff, and Meek. Puff had leaned forward to talk to somebody, say hi or whatever. And so I turned over to Meek and I said, Happy birthday. He put his hand out and he was like, thank you. So I reached his hand and shook it. And as I shook Meek's hand, he turned around and saw it and he got so mad. And we got in the car. He grabbed my hair and cussed me out. Why you shaking his hand for? I was I was just saying happy birthday, nothing else.
So was Young Miami Diddy's accomplice in mistreating that other side piece, Gina Hun?
He was always belittling me and always he was mentally, emotionally, and physically me.
This Surviving Diddy series just got a whole lot messier because new details are starting to emerge.
Okay, so let's hear about Gina and let's hear about Young Miami. Let's get the likes up, you guys. We're about to get to Gina and Young Miami. Let's go. Let's get the likes up. I found the video I wanted to find. We should be at 100 likes. Let's get the likes up. Let's hear about Gina and Young Miami. Let's go. Let's get the likes up, y'all, so we can continue. Can I get 20 people to hit that screen, double tap that screen to get the likes up? If you've already hit like, thank you. If you already subscribed, thank you. Let's get the likes up. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're almost there. 94 likes. Let's get 20 people to double tap that screen. Thank you. So we can continue. Let's get 20 people to double tap that screen to hit the like and thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. I found it.
His ex-side, Gina Hun. And tea is being spilled about how Diddy used to really mistreat her. Gina also said that Diddy forced her into having multiple abortions.
Allegedly.
The situation only got worse after Miami came into the picture because not only was he putting his hands on Gina, but Miami would constantly shame and diss her publicly, knowing good and well how Diddy was treating her behind the scenes.
Let's hear how Young Miami treated Gina. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
He took one of my heels and tried to stab me, and then he mushed my face and really hard and made my nose bleed.
Okay, so it looks like Cassie's lawsuit just opened the can for a whole lot of disturbing information to come out. The lawsuit that Cassie filed contained very graphic details about how he exploited and forced Cassie into having multiple encounters with other men while he filmed it. Of course, Diddy and his team denied these allegations and accused Cassie of just trying to get a payday. However, he settled the lawsuit in less than 24 hours, and word on the street is...
Remember how he settled Cassie's lawsuit in 24 hours? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Diddy paid Cassie much more than what she was asking for because she had some very major dirt on him that he did not want exposed to the public. But the lawsuit being dismissed from court doesn't mean this is the end of it. See, people started digging up some receipts from the past about Diddy's very long track record of being abusive to women. In fact, they even found some old photos that Diddy posted years ago of Cassie clearly looking miserable. But at the time, no one was really suspecting of him of doing anything.
Yes, it's showing a picture of Cassie's lip busted up and she's got a bandage or the knot on her head. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. So Cassie was throwing out signals, but people wasn't catching on, and people really wasn't reporting on it, and they really didn't report on the other relationships he had. The bodyguards spoke up of what they saw. A lot of those bodyguards should have been on the stand as well. Fair use reaction clip.
So nobody took it serious. However, what really got people talking was an interview with Gina back in 2018 with Tasha K. In the interview, she detailed how Diddy manipulated her into a relationship while she was still very young and started mistreating her then. She said Diddy used to hit her, stomp on her, and even forced her to have abortions every single time she got pregnant. He also offered her $50K as hush money, so she wouldn't tell anybody what he was putting her through.
In the beginning, the first 3.5 years, the first 3 4 months, he was really nice, but then after that, he was
Did he love bomb a lot of these women to get close and then he started doing what he was doing? Let's continue fair use. Did he love bomb these women? Let me know in the comments. Will Trump pardon him? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments.
Started being an act. So like, he was like always belittling me and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically. He took one of my heels and tried to throw it at me, and then he like mushed my face and like really hard and made my nose bleed.
And you mind telling me what happened with that pregnancy?
I told him, and he was like, you're gonna get it right. And then I was like, I don't know, I don't know yet. And then he offered me 50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because, I just loved him, and I wanted to. I was like trying to prove that I wasn't the girl that wanted him for money. Okay. I just care about him.
But what most people don't know is that after this interview, Diddy actually forced Gina back into a relationship with him again. He even forced her to do a whole press run to say nice things about him and their very toxic relationship so he could clear up.
He asked her to do a press run. This video is a year ago. He asked her to do a press run. Now he asked her to write a letter. Let's continue. Fair use, reaction clip.
His name, and people would forget everything she said in the interview with Tasha K. In fact, back in 2021, Gina had an interview with the Jasmine brand where she said, at the end of the day, I really value the friendship that him and I have. He did bless me.
Like the video, like the video. You guys, were almost at 100 likes. Finally. Can I get 10 more people to hit the like button and thank you? We're almost at 100 likes. 10 more people to hit the like button and thank you. Please hit the like button and thank you. We're almost at 100.
I am going to be forever grateful and respect him. However, things got real messy when Diddy started hooking up with Miami. So that drama started when news hit the internet that Diddy had gotten another woman pregnant while he was still in a relationship with Miami. Gina posted a clip with her lip syncing to the lyrics, "You doing all this extra shit, you stupid B," and added the text, "When she beefing with you over a guy, but whole time he got somebody else pregnant." She also said in the caption, "The city girl's down by 1,000." Now, after Miami saw this, she went off on Gina and made fun of her for allowing Diddy to manipulate her back into a relationship, even though he physically abused her in the past. Miami went as far as to bring up the interview with Tasha K and making fun of the abortions that Diddy forced Gina to have. She said, "Gina, you've been down bad ever since I came into the picture. You've been crying for a baby for 10 years. You've been used around as that B that eat P and D when he feel like it. You a eater. You the same B that was crying on Tasha K because you wanted a baby for sushi. You want a baby B. I have a career. You a certified freak. You haven't heard from Diddy since the awards, reminiscing on abortions. Let that hurt go, Chun-Li. Oh, but it gets worse, y'all, because the streets are saying that Miami knew everything about what Gina was going through at the hands of Diddy.
So y'all see how Young Miami was talking to Gina? Let's rewind that a little bit. Fair use, reaction clip.
You the same B that was crying on Tasha K because you wanted a baby for sushi. You want a baby B. I have a career. You a certified freak. You haven't heard from Diddy since the awards, reminiscing on abortions. Let that hurt go, Chun-Li. Oh, but it gets worse, y'all, because the streets are saying that Miami knew everything about what Gina was going through at the hands of Diddy. Miami actually slipped up and confirmed this during her back and forth with Gina. There was a tweet where she basically implied.
So that's Diddy spilling the tea about Gina, shading her in front of Young Miami. Young Miami should have never knew what Gina was going through, but Diddy told Young Miami what was going on.
That she could make Gina eat her out, whether Gina wanted to or not, simply by telling Diddy to give her the order. She said, "If I wanted you to eat my food, Diddy would have you on your knees. You a eater." Chill. I mean, we all knew Miami has been Diddy's ride or die for a while now, but I definitely didn't expect her to be an accomplice torturing his victims. This is just crazy. This also explains why
See, remember how many people talked about how Young Miami and Gina was going back and forth in media?
Miami has been very quiet ever since the allegations came out. Most people thought she wasn't saying anything because she was scared of Diddy coming for her. But it looks like she was allegedly Diddy's accomplice the whole time because she knew everything about him and chose to stay quiet. But Miami was also caught going off on a fan who left a comment about Cassie's lawsuit under a picture of her and Diddy. But once again, she didn't care and told the fan to get off her page. The person commented, "You ain't learning from Cassie's sister," to which Miami replied, "I think you under the wrong page, LMAO." Jaguar Wright also hinted at Miami being Diddy's accomplice.
Now let's listen. Why didn't she have to hit the stand? Young Miami and Gina and Jane Doe. Do you think it would have changed things if Gina would have took the stand? Do you think it would have changed things if Young Miami took the stand? Let's continue fair use reaction clip.
When she blasted her for leaving Diddy after he cut her allowance from $500K to $250K a month, according to...
Y'all remember how they were talking about Young Miami was getting an allowance? Let's continue. Y'all remember that?
On the page, LMAO. Jaguar Wright also hinted at Miami being Diddy's accomplice when she blasted her for leaving Diddy after he cut her allowance from $500K to $250K a month. According to Jaguar, the reason why Miami felt offended when Diddy cut her allowance was because she was the one keeping all his dark secrets, and she was expecting him to compensate her for keeping said secrets. What the fuck is going on?
Do you think he wanted Young Miami to write a letter and she just like not? No, I have to focus on my career. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Thanks for getting the likes to 100. Finally, after an hour and 45.
Ladies.
Like the fact that he, I'm just saying, the fact that he cut it from 500 to 200. Who the fuck gives a 200K? Who 250K? Who turned it down 250K a month? What the fuck is going on in that relationship that 250K ain't enough?
Can see some things.
That ain't worth 250K. That's gotta be some dark. Like people are not understanding that girl quit 250K. 4 million every quarter. I'm sorry, $1 million every quarter. Now she was getting $2 million a quarter, but then she got, you got going on. That's so deep that it ain't worth $1 million a quarter.
People immediately rushed to social media and dragged Miami to filth for sticking with Diddy despite all of the things that she knows he's done to Gina and countless other victims. One person said, the Cassidy situation is why I will always look at Young Miami weird as F. Like, girl, you know he's a disgusting creature. Another person said, Young Miami came to an award show with a big sign for that man, standing out, being Diddy's big...
Like the video, fair use reaction clip.
His cheerleader, trust and believe she's doing everything he's asking / telling her to, and then some. LOL. Ain't no grooming. That woman is okay with everything going on in his house. But now I want to know your thoughts. Do you think Gina...
So did the feds go wrong by not calling Young Miami? Did the feds go wrong by not calling Gina? He dated more people than Cassie. Did the feds go wrong by making a lot of this about Cassie and Mia and Jane Doe, who he was paying, alleged, her rent, and he was paying for her lawyer? So it makes him look like a good guy by having, hello feds, it makes him look like a good guy by having Jane Doe speak almost last. They added her last minute too. They added Jane Doe, I want to say this year. Jane Doe wasn't even thought about or to be added. She was added on the end. And then remember how didn't Jane Doe hug some people in court? What's that all about? The feds went wrong by not bringing up his other girlfriends outside of Cassie. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Is going to file a lawsuit and press charges against Diddy, maybe even Miami too. Y'all know what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section.
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Okay. So don't forget, many people are speaking up and speaking out that these women should have had to take the stand. And KK, they're surprised KK didn't have to take the stand. How's that possible? Like the videos, y'all come in. Like the videos, y'all come in. Fair use reaction clip.
Stay behind bars until his sentencing. And got to get to some breaking news just as we've been on the air with a judge in literally the last maybe 10 minutes denying Diddy's motion for bail, meaning Sean Combs is going to stay behind bars.
So that was a few days ago. He's trying everything he can to get out before the sentencing because the civil lawsuits are going to be presented. Thanks for being here, everyone. If you didn't subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Let's continue. Fair use. Judge denied bail.
His sentencing in 2 months from now. Let me bring in Yasmin Vasugian, who's covering this story for us. Yas, we're going to get to all of this, but let's start with the ruling that just came in. Do we know anything else? What else can you tell us?
Yeah, so essentially what we're learning from this judge, I mean, it's some of the same reasoning that we heard with the initial ruling when the defense also asked for instance, him to be released on $50 million bail, in which case they're saying essentially that he failed to provide burden of proof as to why he should be released on this $50 million bail. Also, citing his previous criminal background along with being a potential danger to society. So I don't think it's necessarily a surprise how that this denial came in, that in fact Sean Diddy Combs at this point will have to wait inside that prison in Brooklyn until his sentencing on October 3rd. But nonetheless, I also think that amidst all of this, it is incredibly likely that his defense attorneys will pursue other avenues in which they'll seek to have bail granted on his leading up to October 3rd.
What about
about this other piece of information we learned about today. This letter from Diddy's ex-girlfriend, somebody who, I guess, had initially been part of the case against Sean Combs, who now is basically writing or was writing in his defense. What's going on here?
So she was seen as a victim number 3, or cited as victim number 3 by the prosecution, and she was set to testify on behalf of the prosecution initially going into the trial, and then she kind of moved to the prosecution, literally, in that they said in court, stated in court, that she was supposed to testify. However, they had tried to remain in contact with her and had not necessarily heard back. I would also reiterate that she had given an interview to a podcast.
So did Gina go on a long vacation? Then she resurfaced after the jury, during the time the jury was deliberating. Did Gina go on vacation allegedly? Why was she MIA? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
In 2019, I believe, in which she said and cited that Sean Diddy Combs had repeatedly stomped on her chest. His former assistant testified in court as well that he had witnessed Sean Diddy Combs throwing apples at her. She dated Sean Diddy Combs for multiple years, on and off, throughout the time in which he dated Cassie Ventura as well. But nonetheless, she is now writing this letter to help the defense, in which she's citing, "I'm writing because I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or to the community. This is his first criminal case. Throughout the investigation and proceedings, he has been cooperative, respectful, and compliant." But obviously, this time around, Hal, it has not worked.
We thank you.
So the judge is not playing. Do you think that they're playing in the judge's face? Do y'all think?
Judge denied Sean Diddy Combs' latest request for bail. Combs is trying to get released from jail. A federal judge denied Sean Diddy Combs' latest request for bail. Combs is trying to get released from jail before his October sentencing date. Last month, a jury convicted Combs of 2 prostitution-related charges. That jury found him not guilty of more serious sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Hours after the verdict, though, the judge denied Combs' bid for release. In an order on Monday, the judge said Combs has not established that he isn't a danger or a flight risk.
So do you think he's mad at his legal team, and that's why his legal team is pushing to get him released? Do you feel that he's mad at his legal team because they didn't properly prove that
The judges ruled Sean Diddy Combs will remain behind bars until his sentencing this fall. This is the second time the judge has denied a bail motion to release Combs. In his ruling, the judge said the hip-hop mogul, quote, fails to satisfy his burden to demonstrate an entitlement to release. Comes after one of Combs' ex-girlfriends, Virginia Win, wrote a letter to the judge urging his release on bail. She was identified as victim 3 in the government's indictment against Combs, but ultimately did not testify in the trial. Combs was found guilty on 2 counts of interstate prostitution last month, but was acquitted on the more serious charges of racketeering and sex trafficking.
So that's a concern that Gina went MIA. Like the video, like the video. Like the video, like the video. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Please hit the like.
I'm John Alpha. Diddy's chances of getting out of prison with the help of a Donald Trump pardon appears to have quickly faded, as it now can be assumed that Trump forgives but never forgets. For the past several weeks, there have been rumblings if President Trump would consider pardoning Sean Diddy Combs after Combs would be found guilty on charges related to his heavily publicized trial. Combs currently faces up to 20 years in prison after being found guilty of 2 counts of transportation for prostitution. Well, in a new interview on Newsmax with host Rob Finnerty, Trump would finally address the real possibility of saving his former friend from a lengthy prison sentence. According to Trump, Combs' previous criticism of him, quite frankly, has minimized his chances of receiving a pardon. He made some terrible statements, so I don't know. It makes it more difficult to do.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yeah.
So this is Trump in that interview from this clip.
Of him, quite frankly, has minimized his chances of receiving a pardon. He made some terrible statements, so I don't know. It makes it more difficult to do.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's still in jail or something, but, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and it seemed like a guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you.
Yeah, when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office, and he made some terrible statements. So I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
Now, as reports begin to circulate on...
He said it makes it more difficult to do. So this is the biggest thing. Trump said that this week. Now, Diddy's lawyers are going to Trump to still try and get a pardon, and Trump has already said no. Let's listen to what he said.
Seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you.
Yeah, when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office, and he made some terrible statements. So I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
It makes it more difficult to do.
On Trump's response, claiming that Diddy dissing him is why a pardon more than likely won't happen. Moments, and one moment in particular that may have cost Diddy his freedom, has now resurfaced.
White men like Trump need to be banished.
The clip comes from an interview Combs would conduct with Charlamagne the God back in 2020 on his then platform Revolt. The interview would allow Combs to candidly share his thoughts about the election, President Biden, and Trump, as he would strive to launch his own political party called Our Black Party. At different moments in the interview, Combs would make it very clear that he was not a fan of Trump's politics. At one point, he would even go as far as saying that white men like Trump should be banished. And this very moment could be the exact words that Trump will never forget, and why he finds pardoning Diddy difficult.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death for this man is white people.
Since its release, the interview has gained close to 600,000 views on YouTube, so it's a very strong possibility that someone from the Trump administration could have seen it and sent it.
Like the video, like the video. There's about 155 in the building. Can I please get 155 people to hit the subscribe button? Please hit the subscribe button. Continue to hit the like button. Let's continue. Fair use. Reaction clip.
As Trump did mention, he and Diddy were actually good friends before he got serious about politics. From the looks of photos online and places like Getty Images, Trump and Diddy can be seen hanging out as far back as 1997, when Trump was a special guest at Diddy's grand opening of his restaurant Justin's in New York City. And even interesting enough, in 2004, when Diddy was pushing his Vote or Die campaign, Trump showed up to support him. So what are your thoughts now hearing that Trump finds it difficult to pardon Diddy? Do you think he should overlook Diddy's past comments and not make a personal decision? Let's get into the comments below. And do you think Diddy played himself with these statements, or were they necessary things to say? Stay today for the latest news and comedy, culture, and sports.
So do you think that he's going to pardon him? Even though he said, if he felt that he's being mistreated, he'll consider it. If he felt that he's been mistreated, he'll consider it. Like the videos, y'all come in. Like the videos, y'all come in. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing if you already subscribed. Thank you for hitting the like button if you already hit the like button. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Will Donald Trump make another statement? Or do you think Donald Trump is done making a statement and it's like I said what I said?
I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
Makes it more difficult to do.
About pardoning Sean Diddy Combs 2 months after saying he would, quote, look into the facts. When asked about pardoning his former friend Combs, who has since been found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution, but acquitted on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, President Trump now clarifies his comments during an
like the video, fair use reaction clip.
Interview with Newsmax on August 1st.
Sean Diddy Combs,
right?
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they did. He's still in jail or something.
Yeah.
He was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess, it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well, but when I ran for office, he was.
Why would he say he didn't know him well when they would often talk about the meetings they had? Diddy going to his hotel? Like the video, like the video. Why is he downplaying their friendship? And did he also downplay his friendship with Epstein? Let's continue. Fair use, action clip. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before, where you're watching from. Let's continue. Fair use, reaction clip.
Very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you.
Yeah, and it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office, and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know. It's more difficult. It makes it more. I'm being honest. It makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs. It sounds like.
So.
Okay.
Questions about a potential pardon for Combs.
So most likely a no. So now Diddy's team is seeking and asking for help and assistance because they just heard what Donald Trump said. Hello. Thanks, Paris. Hello. Thanks for being here, everyone. Paris is here. Did y'all see how I lightened up? I was wondering where my girl was. Did y'all see how I lightened up? Yes, she just hit the membership button. You guys, memberships are over there. We got to get the memberships up. We got to get the likes up. Thank you for being here, Paris. I was wondering where you was at, girl. Thanks for being here. Yes. Everyone say hello to Paris. She's one of my mods. She's been with me for 11 months. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Combs came just days after the president pardoned Todd and Julie Chrisley for their tax evasion crimes. The duo, who entered prison in early 2020.
Y'all remember when Trump pardoned the Chrisleys? And he was pardoning other people. So Diddy was hopeful that he would get a pardon. But all the allegations was coming out. So this is the biggest thing. Diddy's team is pushing to get pardoned before he gets sentenced because of the civil lawsuits. People keep forgetting about the civil lawsuits allegations. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Three have been set to remain incarcerated until 2032 and 2028, respectively, before they were released on May 28th on order of the president. As for Combs, the 55-year-old will return to court for sentencing on October 3rd, following his conviction on the two prostitution-related charges. His counsel is seeking 21 to 27 months, while prosecutors are asking for 51 to 63 months, per NBC News.
Oh my goodness, Paris, I've been live for 2 hours. These numbers should be pretty good for today. We've broken down everything. Hold on. We've broken down everything. We heard from the Gina Young Miami situation. We heard a lot. We covered a lot today. I'm gonna go here for a second. Let me just get this together. Everyone, yes, say hello to Paris. She's one of my favorites. And Anonymous is one of my favorites too. But Paris has been ride or die with me for the 11 months. Paris was here when we had 3,000 subscribers. Now we're at 4K subscribers. Thanks for being here, everyone. Hold on.
But it also indicates potentially he's looking at a custodial sentence.
Okay.
Once you separate out the emotion and everything that we saw Diddy do on that video with Cassie Ventura.
Yeah, we covered a lot. I'll just be general. We covered the Diddy speech. Diddy did an interview with Charlemagne, and he talked Trump. That was about 4 years ago. So just look up Charlemagne's interview with Diddy. We did that. So you didn't miss. You missed, but we get it. You're a busy woman like me. Yes, we're up there. Yes, we're up there. Still climbing, y'all. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
He comes off pretty bad as an individual. It was his defense team that saved him, and from a purely mercenary point of view, they did an outstanding job. They really did. I think that what Diddy is going to deal with in this sentencing and also for this bail review is one of the things that nobody's talking about, Megan, is we got to go back to when he was using other inmates' calling codes to call witnesses in the case, supposedly. And
y'all remember that? Allegedly, he was using people's calling codes to call out. Fair use reaction clip.
You remember back during one of the very first bail hearings, he was doing that. And that is the type of thing, Mark's familiar with this, I'm sure you are too. There's an old adage here in law school. The second most powerful thing that God on earth is a federal judge. And that is a lot of judges will take a personal affront at that. And that's, I think, where he really screwed up. I think that when the prosecution came out and said he's looking at more time, so he poses a flight risk, it's just like, it makes me cringe. It's like, come on, guys, that's just dumb. Sorry, that's dumb. Where they hung their hat, or where they should have hung their hat, is danger just based on the fact that he is such a prolific domestic violence dude, and I'm sure he could keep it straight until sentencing, but it also indicates potentially he's looking at a custodial sentence beyond what Mark or I would call CTS, or credit time served. So it looks like the judge is probably planning on dinging him something. But I agree with Mark. In federal sentencing, you can't have gross disparity between one case and another. And so the government's gonna be lucky if they get 4 or 5 years, frankly, I think.
John, what do you think of it? I think Diddy is a dirtbag. And because the judge knows that, he is paying lip service.
Okay, she about to go in. Like the video, fair use reaction clip.
To the law, I don't think this judge really believes that Diddy is a flight risk. I don't believe any of that. What this judge is doing, he's doing one of two things, in my opinion. He either is trying to punish Diddy because he knows that he's not really going to be able to throw the sentencing book at him, and that Diddy will get what is very close to credit for time served and walk very shortly after sentence. So this judge wants to inflict as much pain as he can before he can. Or it's some sort of foreshadowing that this judge is going to be amenable to departing from the sentencing guidelines upwardly to really stick it to Diddy, because Diddy is not a likable guy. He's a misogynist, he's a woman beater, he's a horrible person. But yes, I agree that Mark's daughter did a good job, and this was a just verdict. I don't want to get hate mail for that, but it was.
Well, it's not that the verdict couldn't be supported. It could be supported. I totally disagreed with that fully and completely, but it's not something you could say there's no rational basis for the jury to come to this. But he's still, does he have any remedy between now and the October sentencing, Mark, or is it done now? He's not getting bail. This is the final thing.
Well, he doesn't have a remedy with this judge. He does have a remedy with somebody else in the executive branch. So
All right. Is it true? Is he trying to persuade Trump to get a pardon?
Yeah, I think Trump's admitted. I just saw an interview in which, not one but twice, he's admitted that the president has been talked to. I actually think, this would be above my pay grade, but politically, I can see where this resonates with him because you lived and I did many shows with you during the time Trump was being prosecuted both civilly and criminally in New York, which is reminiscent of what is happening with Diddy. He was accused of everything. They threw everything.
Including Rico. Trump.
I was wondering too, Paris, if he would do it because it's so messy. And if he does it, those civil lawsuits are going to come out. If he tries to pardon him, those civil lawsuits are going to come out and it's going to be messy, even more messy. The case was messy. An everyday person could have did this trial better than the feds did. Everybody was like, what are y'all doing? Why is there so much repeat? Why is there so many sidebars? Why there's so many objections? Why are so many people on the stand for so long when you should have had people he produced? You should have had some of his old bodyguards. KK should have hit the stand. Gina should have hit the stand. Young Miami should have hit the stand. More of the system. That should have been, you got about a good 4 hours and we have to move on. People he tried to produce and how they felt and what they went through. He dated more people than Cassie and Jane Doe. That's the biggest concern. Those other women did not take the stand. You can't make it look like he was in a long-term relationship and then after Cassie moved on and got married, dated other people. Let's be very clear. And then Gina going MIA, and then she resurfaces once the jury deliberates. I need to make sure people understand that. Whether she was subpoenaed or not, we don't know. But she went MIA for almost a month and a half. And then she resurfaced literally the week of the jury deliberating. Can't make that up.
Trump had a RICO case too.
Exactly. And by the way, Trump did not get, in my humble opinion, ever get a fair trial in New York. I thought that was preordained.
I don't know if they signed an NDA, but if you're summoned by the courts to take the stand, you have to take the stand. Some are saying Cassie and some of the women said they weren't summoned to take the stand. They just wanted to take the stand to plead their case. Some people are saying Cassie wasn't even summoned to take the stand. So that might have been the same situation for Gina. We don't know. Many people were asked who took the test, who testified was asked, did you get immunity or were you summoned to be here? There was allegedly a lot of people on that list that could possibly testify. And some of the lawyer pages, you know me, I watch lawyer pages at night or in midday. Some of those lawyer pages said there's a lot of people on that list to possibly have to take the stand. Think about it. Some of those workers, I have to be careful what I say, so apologies for the delay. Some of those workers didn't speak up until after the trial. Some of those people couldn't speak up until after the trial. Go listen to the one worker that reported about Cassie. Remember the guy, Clayton Howard. Go look up Clayton Howard's interview. What he had to say about Cassie. They didn't want him to take the stand because he would have made Cassie look away. They did not want Clayton Howard to take the stand. They didn't want certain people to take the stand. Remember how I did a video on the chef? The chef was over it. She was livid. How they were contacting her. We can pay your lawyer fees. Some of these people were mad of how they were contacted and allegedly harassed. They would not have wanted Clayton Howard to take that stand. And allegedly, he was silenced till after the trial. Some people were silenced till after the trial. Because if you're summoned or if you're on the list, but that doesn't mean that you are obligated to take the stand, but you're on the list. So they talked to a lot of people. Think about how many jurors they went through. Y'all, baby, do you remember how many jurors they went through? Over 200. They went through a lot of jurors. Think about this too. Paris, have we heard anything from those jurors? Not a word, not a peep. Now, will we hear anything from those jurors after his sentencing? Or do you think the jurors are concerned to speak up, speak out? Are the jurors, let's think about it, are the jurors working on a book right now? Are the jurors going to speak up after he's sentenced? Or do you think the jurors are going to be silenced and they don't want no parts because they allegedly saw what happened with that other juror stumbling over his interview? And then they question that backup juror of how he was speaking and what he said he knew, didn't know, and he would have somewhat made the same decision. Did the jurors make a rush decision because of the holiday? Remember how one of the jurors didn't want to follow instructions? Do you think that wasn't frustrating for the jurors that did want to follow instructions? Were the instructions too difficult to understand? I remember listening to a lawyer page about a month ago about the jury instructions. She's a lawyer, and she said, "Oh my goodness." A lawyer even said it looked difficult. So is the judge mad at himself for making the jury instructions too difficult? And is that why they said, forget it? We'll just go guilty on these two charges. Like the video, like the videos, y'all come in. Let's continue.
The worst place in the world for him to have been tried was in New York, and it was an unfair prosecution from the get-go by prosecutors who had an agenda. He can see that same thing here. I mean, there was, this Emil Gomez, who's now on the circuit, who was the one who had to trek down to New York on Mayor Adams' case to tell the judge in the Southern District, hey, set that aside, and talked about Damian Williams, the previous U.S. attorney who brought the case against Adams and against Diddy. They cited the fact that he put up Diddy and the mayor on his website when he left office, and that he was trying to curry favor to become the attorney general under Kamala. So there are some things that I think resonate with Trump, and I think he should commute the sentence, if not pardon him.
Oh my God. You're such a...
Yes, Paris, I do think that there's something else going on behind the scenes. It seems real suspicious. Yeah. Remember how one of them didn't want to follow jury instructions? We did a video on that. And they kept that juror still on there. Yes, they did. Like the video, like the video. Can you guys still hear me okay? I would imagine. Okay, yeah, y'all can. Okay. Like the video, like the video. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before where you're watching from. Let's continue to get the subscribers up. There's about 187 in the building. Please subscribe and thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. They going off.
Effective advocate, but I'm so jarred by all of that.
Why are you so... Look, I agree that I've known Sean for 15 years, and he has...
You always do this. You love all the worst people. You
yes.
love the Menendez brothers, you love Scott Peterson. You never seen a client who did it.
Okay, that's a little ad hominem argument, but let's go back to what I'm saying. He has had his troubles. He has had his substance abuse. He is, if you go through all of the violent acts, they're almost always related to his substance abuse, almost exclusively. He has been on a cocktail of drugs, which is a story often told in Hollywood, which is where these people get they go up, they go down, they're just dispensed all kinds of stuff. He's now been in there for about a year, and he's clean and sober, and he's a different person when he's clean and sober, and he's made some kind of amends, and he did get...
That's his choices to take those cocktails. That don't mean he should be putting hands and making women sleep with men. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Who was victim number 3 to write a letter in support of him being released. So stop.
I know.
Wait a minute, Paris. Did you hear about Gina writing a letter, girl? Did you hear about the letter? If you didn't hear about the letter, let me know. I'll play the clip for you. Did you hear about Gina writing the letter? Let me know. If you want me to play the clip, I'll play the clip.
Yes.
Gina's full of it. Gina needs his money. This is Gina. Here's Gina in 2019 talking about this wonderful man. Here she is giving an interview.
He had caught me texting another man who was in Miami, and it got really crazy that time. We were in his closet, and he pushed me, and I fell to the ground, and then he stood over me. So I was laying on my back, and he stood over me, and he started punching me like this. He avoided my face, but he started punching me on the side of my head, and I was just covering my face. He stomped on my stomach really hard, and I took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, but he kept hitting me, and I was pleading to him, can you stop? I can't breathe. And he stopped for a little bit. He grabbed my hair from the back and was punching the back of my head, because he was just avoiding my face when he was hitting me.
He's a real gentleman. That was on the Tasha K blogger show in June of 2019.
6 years later, she's writing a letter.
Just as I said, I play it. They played it for me. I love my clips. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Yes. Now she's saying he's super sweet. But by the way, he was with Jane all the way up to the moment of his arrest, and her testimony was she was being abused up until that moment. It went on all the way, the physical abuse, the freak-offs, all of it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just hold on. 12 New Yorkers heard all of this. They didn't hear Gina because
he didn't dispute the physical violence. He didn't even dispute it.
Right, he wasn't charged with it. But
now we're arguing about whether he's an asshole, and he is. The jury is back in. But you're trying to tell us he's all so warm and cuddly now that he's off the drugs. It was just a drug, single tear. Bullshit. Matt, you've heard defense lawyers do this 1,000 times or more.
Hey, listen, not only, wait just a second, not to cut you off, Mark. This is why I've known Mark for years. We go back decades together. This is why Mark is the first guy I'd probably call if I got in trouble, especially if I did it.
Hello.
That's Mark Derrick at his best.
Since President Trump was sworn in.
That's at his best. Baby. Okay, so y'all, do you think that Trump will pardon Diddy? Yes or no? Do you think that Trump will pardon Diddy? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. Press 1, you think he'll pardon him. Press 2 if you think he will not pardon him. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Like the video as y'all come in. Like the video as y'all come in. Whoa, what did I do? Wait.
Time in my career where I knew.
Thank you for subscribing, you guys. I do see that the numbers are going up. Thank you for subscribing. I do see that the numbers are going up.
Covering this story for us. Yes, we're going to get to all of this, but let's start. Got to get to some breaking news.
Okay, if you guys did not know, Diddy's team is seeking a pardon, even though Trump has basically said he does not plan on it. Will Trump change his mind to switch the narrative? Yes, continue to hit the like. Thank you, Anonymous. She's been riding with me good for 2 weeks. Was I not busy for 2 weeks? I was so busy. At times, it would cut off. At times, I had to go. I be so busy, y'all. If only I could tell y'all what's been going on for the last 2 weeks. I've been so busy for the last 2 weeks. One of my close friends resurfaced. I saw them about 2 weeks ago. Oh, girl, let's do this. Let's go to the concert. Girl, I'm too busy. I feel so bad because I get it, but I be so busy. And I am the type, family first. Family first, my boo, my bae. I wish I could have gone, but that day I'm grateful I didn't go. I got even busier. And I don't tell people a lot, but I'm telling you, I'm alert, I'm visual, and I see stuff. Last Friday was no joke. I'm alert, I'm visual, and I see stuff. And I protected myself from a $1,000 bill. Yes, I did. And I spoke up, I spoke out. So girlfriend over here be busy. So I come live when I can come live. I do whatever I could do. But yes, I've been so busy the last 2 weeks. We used to hit almost 1.5 million views for the month. About 2 months ago, it was 1 million. Now it's like 1.5 million because I've been so busy. So I'm trying to get back to my time, 9, 10, or 11 going live. But there was times I just couldn't even go live if I wanted to. But guess what? Things are in order. Things are moving forward. And I protected myself from a $1,000 bill because somebody was at fault. Thank you. Want to do it? $1,000, yes. 1,000 is a grip. And then they try to say it was my fault or my son's fault or my somebody else's fault. And I said, hold up, stop playing with me. When I walked up on it, I noticed that there was a problem. I'm visual, I notice stuff, and I pay attention. And I take pictures. And if I got an issue and I'm by myself, I'll get somebody on the phone immediately. If I know my boo, my bae ain't available, I'll get somebody on the phone immediately. Protected on Friday. Baby, boom, won't he do it? Okay, let me continue. Fair use reaction clip. Yes. Try to play me. Try to play me big. And I'm a sister girl around other cultures. I'm a sister girl around other cultures. And I noticed stuff. And then I noticed two guys talking. I got out of my car. I called my dude. I was like, FaceTime, let's go. Yes. And the dude said, nope, it wasn't their fault. It's our fault. And I had somebody on the line. So if I would have had to sue them, he said it was their fault. Save myself $1,000. Another dude, 15 minutes before that, tried to say it was my fault. Hold up. No, no, no. And I kept calm. You always got to be calm in a situation. You always got to be calm in a situation. You show your behind, they going to show theirs. I thank goodness I didn't pull off. I stayed there. And I think I was texting my boo, my bae. And as soon as I realized two guys was talking, boo, bae, FaceTime, let's go. Ma'am, I apologize. It wasn't you. It was us. Okay, what do we need to do to rectify the situation? I got you. You don't have to do nothing. Thank you. Thank you. And I stayed there. We was FaceTime for a good 10, 15 minutes. Baby, I don't play. I don't I don't play. You always got to be smart, alert, and really listen and have a backup. FaceTime somebody if there's a situation. As a woman, never go in a situation by yourself. Never. In certain situations, people will try and blame you. Okay, let's continue. Fair use. Yes, let's go.
We've been on the air with a judge in literally the last maybe 10 minutes denying Diddy's motion for bail, meaning Sean Combs is going to stay behind bars until his sentencing in 2 months from now. Let me bring in Yasmin Vasugian, who's covering this story for us. Yas, we're going to get to all of this, but let's start with this ruling that just came in.
And one of the guys that was trying to shade me and talk crazy, teethless, toothless, trying to be rude, y'all, and I wasn't rude. I stayed calm. I wasn't rude. I stayed calm. Toothless, trying to be rude. I'm ready to go. It's late Friday. I should be off work. Well, sir, I have a problem. I didn't do this. You did. Another guy came out. He was nice, not rude. Always stand your ground. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Toothless. So essentially what we're learning from this judge, I mean, it's some of the same reasoning that we heard with the initial ruling when the defense also asked for.
Snaggletooth. Yes, trying to be rude. You better get to a dentist playing with me.
For instance, him to be released on $50 million bail, in which case they're saying essentially that he failed to provide burden of proof as to.
Yes. The other guy was nice, kind. He was on the phone. Andrew said it was our fault. It was not her fault. I know what I'm looking at. This is not her fault. It's our fault. Ma'am, we will make sure we take care of it. You don't have to do nothing. Do you need a rental car? No, sir. I have other vehicles. I'm fine. But thank you for the offer. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. And I almost pulled off the lot, and they almost probably would have tried to blame me. I didn't pull off that lot. Thank God. Thank God I didn't pull off that lot. Situation almost resolved. It should be totally resolved by today. So you figure Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, still 4-day situation. But everything's taken care of. Yes, I love it. Pay attention, be alert, and be visual.
Why he should be released on this $50 million bail. Also, citing his previous criminal background along with being a potential danger to society. So I don't think it's necessarily a surprise how that this denial came in, that in fact Sean Diddy Combs at this point will have to wait inside that prison.
My neck, my back.
But nonetheless, I also think that amidst all of this, it is incredibly likely that his defense attorneys will pursue other avenues.
No, I wasn't in an incident where I could do neck back. It was outside of me, but it was resolved. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
In which they'll seek to have bail granted on his behalf and leading up to October 3rd.
What about this other piece of information we learned about today? This letter from Diddy's ex-girlfriend, somebody who, I guess, had initially been part of the case against Sean Combs, who now is basically writing or was writing in his defense. What's going on here?
So she was seen as a victim number 3, or cited as victim number 3 by the prosecution, and she was set to testify on behalf of the prosecution initially going into the trial, and then she kind of goes to the prosecution, literally, in that they said in court, stated in court, that she was supposed to testify. However, they had tried to remain in contact with her and then not necessarily heard back. I would also reiterate that she had given an interview to a podcast in 2019, I believe, in which she said and cited that Sean Diddy Combs had repeatedly.
So do you think Diddy did not want Gina to take the stand because they would have talked about her interview? Do you think Diddy did not want Gina to take the stand because they would have talked about her interview? Big question. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Like the video as you guys come in.
Stomped on her chest. His former assistant testified in court as well that he had witnessed Sean Diddy Combs throwing apples at her. She dated Sean Diddy Combs for
Y'all remember in the trial, they talked about Diddy throwing apples at Gina. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
multiple years, on and off, throughout the time in which he dated Cassie Ventura as well. But nonetheless, she is now writing this letter to help the defense, in which she's citing, "I'm writing because I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or to the community. This is his first criminal case. Throughout the investigation and proceedings, he has been cooperative, respectful, and compliant." But obviously,
why apples? It was a decoration type thing, and allegedly that was the first thing he could get his hands on to do what he felt he wanted to do to that girl. There was decorative apples near him, and in court they talked about he threw them at her. So the judge's not going to respond to Gina's letter. Gina probably shouldn't have wrote the letter, real talk. But they talked about it in court of how he treated Gina several times. Even though she didn't take the stand, she didn't show up, they still talked about her. Yes, he threw apples.
this time around, Hal, it has not worked.
Thank you for watching, and remember, stay up.
Okay, y'all, let me see if I want to get to hot topics, trending topics. This is his legal team seeking a pardon. This is his legal team seeking a pardon from Trump. I did a short on that. That short did okay. But yeah, this is his legal team speaking up, speaking out. Because remember, Trump had said he's not going to.
Diddy Combs,
Right.
would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something.
What does half innocent
He
mean?
was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great. And seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office,
Sean Diddy Combs,
Got along with him well, but it didn't
would you
know him.
consider pardoning him?
well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something. But he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great. And seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office,
Sean Diddy Combs,
right.
He didn't know him well, but he got along with him. Which one is it? Remember how he's talking about he celebrated the victory, but he's still in jail because he's throwing shade at him. Remember how those people were outside thinking he was about to get out? Because remember, if you don't recall, the judge asked, would you like to be released? And Diddy got excited. Yes, judge, you did a great job. Yes, I would like to be released. Then people started writing in letters stating, do not release him. We're fearful of our safety.
Very hostile.
he said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office.
Correct,
and
Harris.
Made some terrible statements. So I don't know. It's more difficult. It makes it more. I'm being honest. It makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs.
I would
sounds
say
like.
so.
Okay.
It was very hostile.
He said.
So this is why Diddy's team is seeking a pardon, and they're hoping that they can change Trump's mind because of what he just said.
Very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office, and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know. It's more difficult. It makes it more. I'm being honest. It makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs.
I would
sounds
say
like.
so.
Okay.
I would say so.
Very...
So let's go back, because some people don't know. I follow what I can follow. I do what I can do. I ain't perfect, but do you remember how I posted a short Donald Trump had said if he feels that he's being untreated fairly, he may pardon him after and if the bail is denied. The bail was denied, so Diddy is thinking he's about to get pardoned. Something changed Trump's mind. There was a statement out there that Trump would pardon Diddy if the bail was denied, but now he's changed his mind.
Very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And
Yes.
it's hard.
Someone must have reminded him what Diddy said.
Very hard.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And
Yes.
it's hard, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I
it
would
sounds
say
like.
so.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very hard.
So, of course, Diddy's lawyers are panicking because they thought they had it in the bag. Okay, if the bail gets denied, we have Trump in our back pocket. He's got our back. We're going to be fine. If the bail gets denied, and it was denied, other judges made the decision to deny it. It was denied, 4 times? It was denied. So when it got denied, Diddy's sitting there thinking, I'm going to be cool because he's going to pardon me. And he said, oh, no, I'm not.
Still.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And he said some not so nice things about him. Let's continue. Okay, this is the Gayle King situation. I can't play the video because it's from TMZ. Okay. Gayle King responds to Trump saying her career is over. And she's basically saying, I'm sorry, I feel that way. So let's get into this. Paris, I'm about to be a little messy. I'm going to try and be good because you're here. Do you remember? Do you remember who Gayle was with 2 weeks ago? It was Gayle, Oprah, and Kris Jenner. Remember that? And people was like, that's an interesting bunch. It was Gayle, Oprah, and Kris Jenner. Remember how Trump talked about Oprah in regards to the Kamala Harris? So in Trump's mind, he's thinking about Oprah, and now he's talking about Gayle. Gayle's like, why am I in it? Why am I being talked about? Because she's friends with Oprah. He wasn't happy that allegedly how Kamala Harris handled her campaign. He allegedly is not happy how the campaign was handled. I told y'all, people got to be careful who you hang yourself, who you're around. Watch what I say. People got to be careful who you hang yourself, who you are around. Why all of a sudden is he even talking about Gayle? People are like, what's really going on? Go back. He's talking about Gayle. He went in on Charlemagne, calling him certain things. He went in on Charlemagne as well. Charlemagne and him were going back and forth for all week. Now it's Gayle. He might be going after Gayle because of the Oprah situation about the Kamala Harris situation. He's feeling that her career is over. Now, let's get into it. Allegedly, let's talk about it. They're saying the numbers are down and viewership allegedly is down. So did Gayle recently say something about him and he's mad? Possibly. Possibly. Okay, we ain't getting into that. We ain't getting into that. Ooh, we. Go over to Hollywood Unlocked. Lunel is going off on Shannon Sharpe. I want to say it seems as if she flirted with him for a minute and he wasn't having it because he was into the girls that's under 20 for a minute. And then allegedly, remember, Shannon Sharpe ex that had the red hair, she spoke up. So Lunel is going off on him, calling him names and talk about his clothes. I have to be careful what I say. Y'all can see what's being said. I'm not calling him that. She did. Go over to Hollywood Unlocked You'll hear the full clip. I'm not going to play it here because guess what? I'm trying to keep that sign green. I'm trying to keep that sign green. Okay. So most people don't know, they may. Shannon Sharpe allegedly got fired. No, Shannon Sharpe got fired from ESPN. It ain't no alleged. He got fired from ESPN. He settled a lawsuit with a girl that's under 20. He got fired. Did y'all know? Did y'all check out my short when Shannon Sharpe was making a joke about it? Talking to Ocho Cinco, saying Ocho Cinco. I like how I say that. Ocho Cinco. He said Ocho Cinco owe him money and you need to pay it. And then Shannon Sharpe said his pockets are light. He laughing about the situation, y'all. Go check out my short where I'm talking about Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco. Shannon Sharpe is almost laughing about this situation. Let's take a step back. Shannon Sharpe's brother was having a great moment in football history for himself, hitting the Hall of Fame. I think that's the Hall of Fame. Take it with a grain of salt. I think it was a Hall of Fame. Yeah. So Shannon Sharpe kept apologizing to his brother about taking that moment away from him because he got fired. Shannon Sharpe asked ESPN, don't make the announcement of me being fired till Monday. What? ESPN ain't gonna follow what you want them to do. You allegedly never should have been messing with somebody that's under 20, dog. You're in your 50s, messing with a young girl that was on FO's pages. Only. She was on Only. Allegedly, she retired from the Only. This girl's now rich. Paris. Remember how we were talking about, you were asked if it was if he was a setup? It was no. He met her, the alleged girl, in a gym. I don't think she knew who he was. And remember, she had situations with Shannon. She allegedly had situations with Shannon. And at times, she recorded Shannon. Remember how Monique said, Shannon, stop messing with them young girls. He didn't listen. Cat Williams tried to tell him. Shannon had knew what he was going through. A lot of us didn't know what he was going through. And then he said, I'm not going to apologize to my brother again. Sir, you had already had other situations years prior that some people didn't even know about. Once he had the lawsuit with the young girl under 20, once he had that situation, people start looking up other settlement cases he had. And remember, Paris, I talked about that. He had other settlement cases he had. He still didn't learn his lesson. And now, go check out my short. He laughing about having to pay her, saying his pockets is light. Your pockets are not light, sir. Your pockets are not light. He still has Club Shake Shake with Ocho Cinco. Oh, remember how Paris, I had said they might make the announcement of who his replacement might be? I'm still trying to see if people make the announcement. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say it. Allegedly, I can't confirm or deny because I don't think ESPN made an announcement. But I saw a few people saying they might be considering Ocho Cinco. No, he didn't learn his lesson. Fooling with somebody under 20, you're not learning your lesson. And what you're into, that's on you in your bedroom. But you didn't learn your lesson. Kat told us. So will Ocho Cinco replace him for ESPN? I'm hearing some people saying they might be considering Ocho. Will Ocho Cinco take it? He was on ESPN doing extremely well. Become and you get a high caliber, you gotta settle down. He didn't want to settle down. Go back and look at some of the videos between him and Ocho Cinco. He liked to make it seem like he's the man out there. He liked to seem like he can get the women. He loved to do that in front of Ocho. And it cost him. I think him and that girl met allegedly in 2000. Either they met, take it with a grain of salt. Either he met that girl in 2024 or 2023. So this is a 2-year situation that cost him a lot of money. Go listen to what Lunel had to say. Interesting. Okay, this is Trump just taking a stroll. He's on top of the White House. I'm not gonna play the clip. I'm not fooling with him. This is Gail rushing to the car. Okay, let's be general here as well. Let me go back. Because they're talking about there's subpoenas that's going out. Trump is allegedly trying to subpoena things to people. I might have to do a separate video on that because that's long-winded. I'll be general right now though. Trump has concerns and issues in regards to the Clintons. And there's a huge list of subpoenas that's gone out. And allegedly, the Clintons' alleged name is on that list to be subpoenaed. He is not happy about certain things. And he's trying to push the narrative in regards to this Epstein stuff, in regards to Obama stuff, in regards to the election stuff. There's a lot of stuff he's pushing, and there's different bills he's writing as well. But there's a lot of people that's being subpoenaed right now. Okay. A lot going on, y'all. A lot going on. Okay. They're basically trying to say there's concerns in Diddy's food. I don't want to try and gross people out. Gail's being talked about a lot, y'all. Gail's being talked about a lot. And she said she's sorry he feels that way. I'm not going to play this clip either. Everybody's talking about Diddy. Look how cute Rihanna look at her pink and yellow. Her family has grown over the last 3 years. Go look up Trump's news. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I saved it last night, but it might be too far. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. If I type that, then it might pull it up. Okay, hold on. There's so much news going on. Hold on. Okay. Give me a second. She's definitely pregnant, looking beautiful. Hey. So let me go out. Hold on. Let me see if I can find another picture of okay. I found a clip, y'all. Hold on. This is not the one I saved last night. So even when I'm not working, I'm saving clips of what I think y'all gonna want to hear and what I'm hearing in the street. And it's got to be confirmed by 2 or 3 places. So let's get to it.
The investigating documents surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein case is now going after some big names. The committee has issued subpoenas to former President Bill Clinton, former presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, and several top law enforcement officials. Also tonight, former Deputy Chief of Staff to then President Biden appeared voluntarily before the same House panel probing an alleged cover-up of President Biden's mental health. Senior national correspondent Aisha Hasni reports from Capitol Hill tonight on these 2 investigations. Good evening, Aisha.
Right, good evening to you. You know, the Biden investigation really divided Democrats and Republicans, but Republicans now say this fresh Epstein probe is such a bipartisan effort that even the Clintons may not be able to escape it. Tonight, President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton are facing congressional subpoenas to testify in person about Jeffrey Epstein. The House Oversight Committee summoning the Clintons and 8 former FBI directors and attorneys general spanning from the Bush era to the Biden White House. The historic move comes as pressure grows on Republicans and the Trump administration to release the Epstein files, and as President Trump points his finger away from himself.
I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times.
Allegedly.
Clinton has denied that, but Oversight Chairman James Comer tells Fox he's got questions.
Well, were you ever at Epstein Island? How many times did you go to Epstein Island? What was your relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
No former president has ever come to the Hill for a deposition, but Comer says the Clintons will have a hard time dodging this one since the left wants answers too. Last week, 4 Democrats on an oversight panel voted with 3 Republicans to subpoena the Justice Department for the Epstein files. Democrats are looking for one name.
Donald Trump is clearly going to do everything that he can to minimize the impact to him.
but yet he's involved in the cover-up, and we believe Republicans are helping in that right now.
That investigation gets underway as another pushes ahead. Mr. Reed, did you think that the president was competent to serve former Biden Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy Bruce Reed sitting in for his closed-door interview today over the alleged cover-up of President Biden's decline? Reed was part of a small group of decision-makers who hid Biden, according to the book Original Sin, advisors who have all, so far, defended Biden's competency to be the commander-in-chief.
Like the video, like the video. Fair use reaction clip.
Familiar with Reed's deposition tells us that he basically defended the former president, blamed his poor debate performance on his stutter, and said the White House physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, who pled the fifth during his deposition, basically dismissed any cognitive tests as merely meaningless. The next person that is set to appear before the committee is Senior Communications Advisor Anita Dunn this Thursday. Brett.
Actually, back on the Epstein case, Jeffrey Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell trying to stop the DOJ from releasing the grand jury transcripts in her case.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the Trump administration is trying to make this public to show the base and to show people out there that they are taking this case very seriously. But Maxwell's lawyer essentially filed a motion today opposing those files from being released because she is appealing her case all the way to the Supreme Court. Her team writes this: Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Ghislaine Maxwell is not. Whatever interest the public may have in Epstein, that interest cannot justify a broad intrusion into grand jury secrecy. Now, I will say, though, it's noteworthy that Epstein victim Annie Farmer says that she does want these transcripts released as long as the victims' names, of course, are redacted. Right?
Yeah, they want the victims' names redacted. Let's continue. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to talk about. Oh, that's where I should have put it. Let me see. Yeah, many people are talking about this. Hold on. Like the video, fair use reaction clip.
Senator Mr. Mullen, welcome. A quick thought on David Spunt. Can't thank you enough. We appreciate it. All right. Joining us now is Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, one of the greats of the Senate. Mr. Mullen, welcome. A quick thought on the David Spunt breaking news that they're going to have a grand jury and there is a prosecutor, although that person is as yet unnamed. What you thinking, Senator?
I think it's great. It's good that Tulsi Gabbard and the Trump administration is going to hold the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton and her team accountable. It's far too long. We knew something was wrong. We knew Russiagate was fake. But to see that it actually goes all the way to the Oval Office and that he directed James Clapper and James Comey to collaborate a story, people have to be held accountable. And so this is wonderful news for the American people that shows that we're going after those criminal activities, even if it was underneath the President of the United States.
I know we were going to talk about tariffs, but just one more for you, sir. As our own David Spunt just relayed to me, there is a prosecutor. We just don't know who that prosecutor is. And the grand jury can be named in some place. It doesn't have to be the District of Columbia, which tells me, Senator Mullen, that this is going to be really, really tough. No District of Columbia, which, hates Donald Trump, going to be someplace else, and probably a sharpshooter prosecutor. And you know the old saying, a good prosecutor can indict a ham sandwich. So this looks very serious, sir.
I think it is. And, I have had the privilege of talking with Tulsi Gabbard and those inside the DOJ, and they said that this is very serious. We've been briefed on it at a I wouldn't say at a secret level, but as a sensitive level. And without question, the information that we...
Please like the video. Please like the video. I had to get my numbers up because I've been busy for the last 2 weeks, so I had to go live this long today. Like the video. Fair use reaction clip. Leo, you're funny. Leo, you're funny. Let's continue. Fair use. I don't know why it's fuzzy. Fair use reaction clip.
Received. It is something that the American people want people to hold accountable for. But as you said, when you're talking to a reporter, right, a grand jury doesn't always have to release their information. The judge in charge will make that determination. We're having an issue right now with the judge in Florida not releasing information. So I think at the end of the day, though, people are going to finally be held accountable from this so-called deep state that has been trying to subvert the American election cycle and saying, hey, you got it wrong. There's always collusion, and so there's a reason why you got it wrong. And the whole thing is to undermine Donald J. Trump, which, thank goodness, he's been right from the beginning.
I was trying to say, we'll have you back to talk about tariffs, but look, all the new information, Senator, really points to Hillary Clinton.
Hello. Good afternoon. Continue to hit the like button, you guys. Continue to hit the like button. Hello.
Her
operation as the driving force. Okay, Obama probably give a sign off, yeah, we need a new assessment, but all this new information points to Hillary Clinton, and then the fact that the FBI and the CIA and the media picked up on the Hillary Clinton business with the phony Steele dossier and all that went with it. So I reckon she will not be happy with this new grand jury information. I'm sorry, we're just flat out of time. We'll have you back.
Like the video, like the video. I'm just looking up hot topics, trending topics. Might as well get into it. If you guys did not know, it's being reported that where Diddy is housed, it's a concern in regards to what he's being fed, and allegedly there's concerns with the food. I'm not trying to gross people out. I just can't do it. Did y'all know Devon Franklin got married? She's a gorgeous woman. Congratulations to Devon Franklin. Allegedly, Maxwell brothers dropped photos saying proof she can beat the Epstein case. How is that possible? She was charged. Should she be able to beat the Epstein case? Mrs. Maxwell? Yeah, it's still more people are talking about that. Diddy's pushing the narrative of what he's being fed, and there's concerns in regards to the food where he's being housed. And isn't it interesting? We're just now hearing that he's been in there for a while. And didn't they go into that federal building? And wasn't there supposed to be a major cleanup at that federal building? Yeah, there's supposed to be a major cleanup. The K's and the J's are doing a lot for media attention, clicks, and views. The Kardashians are doing any and everything they can to get media attention, clicks, and views. And Khloe's over there supporting Tristan when she needs to move on. But she may not want to. That's her choice. I did do a video in regards to Brandy Glanville. So concerning. These housewives do a lot for media attention, clicks, and views. We've talked about that. It's being reported Joe Rogan might interview a top Trump official about the Jeffrey Epstein case. That's possible. Judge denied Diddy's bail ahead of October sentencing. Cites violations and coercion. Let's continue. We just talked about that. Bill and Hillary are subpoenaed. Oh. Many people are calling out DJ Khaled for being silenced about Diddy and over. Yeah. Go look that up. DJ Khaled's being called out. We did talk about this. Shannon Sharp officially fired from ESPN. Just going through hot topics, trending topics. I don't want to talk about that. So the biggest thing, will Trump pardon Diddy? If you did not know, many people are talking about Karrueche Trin and Deion Sanders. Allegedly, if you did not know, this is not alleged. Deion Sanders was dating Tracy Edmonds. They've been broke up for about a year or two. I'd say almost 2 years. Deion and Tracy Edmonds have been broke up for about 2 years. Now, allegedly, either he's friends with Karrueche Trin or he's dating Karrueche Trin. We haven't seen them together since she was in the hospital trying to help Deion Sanders. She was in a video crying, and allegedly, Tracy Edmonds had asked if she was dating her ex, Deion Sanders, and allegedly, Karrueche Trin said no. And I haven't seen pictures of Karrueche Trin with Deion since she was at the hospital by his bedside. It's being reported that Britney Spears will not be performing at the 2025 VMAs. Why does it say? Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to talk about. We're just right now doing hot topics, trending topics. Yeah, Megan Good and Jonathan Major still going strong, and Megan Good ex Devon Franklin just recently got married. She's a gorgeous girl. Just talk about hot topics, trending topics. If there's anything major, oh my goodness, I wish I could show y'all this, but I can't. Okay, sometimes if you want a good laugh, go on Snoop Dogg's page on Instagram. Snoop Dogg be posting the craziest stuff. He do. Snoop be posting some funny stuff, y'all. I'm not even paying attention. Please be kind in the comments, or Paris will get at you. Okay, so there's a bunch of controversy going on in regards to Beyonce and that one girl. I can't even think of her name right now. There's different campaigns that's going on, and I think the young girl had said her genes are good, or she has good genes. And then Megan Kelly went after and was talking about Beyonce. So Beyonce just recently did a campaign with Levi. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about Sydney Sweeney. A lot of people are talking about her. Hmm. I guess let's see. 7 minutes ago, Instagram is adding a new repost feature. Now you can reshare public feed and reels and content to your profile. That was just posted 8 minutes ago. Instagram allegedly is adding a new repost feature. Now you can reshare public feed, reels, content to your profile, allegedly. That's being talked about. We're just doing real quick hot topics, trending topics. I really wanted to get into some of the Kardashian stuff. I've just been too busy. They're probably happy. Oh, Paris, I'm funny. The Kardashians are probably happy I haven't been getting at them. And they're losing relevancy so fast. Can't confirm or deny if Kris Jenner is broke up from Corey Gamble, but many people talked about that. They were recently at Beyonce's event, and Corey Gamble kind of got brushed away from Kris Jenner. She kind of walked off from him. Can't confirm or deny if Corey and Kris are still together, not together. We don't know. But like I said, Kris can be in a long-term relationship, but those girls are expected to date. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about. I'm about to refresh and see if there's anything else. Hot topics, trending topics. Diddy's bail was denied. You're just not coming in. Sentencing is set for October 3rd. If y'all don't know, Stephen A. Smith has been going back and forth in regards to comments about Michelle Obama. Okay, you guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate it. Oh, trust and believe. Paris will tell you, when I post stuff, certain things happen and shift. They don't need to know me. I can post stuff. My page gets a lot of views. And other people can post it and they can see that. They don't need to know me. I don't want them to know me. Remember how she was dating Odell Beckham? Did she break up with him 2-3 weeks later after a lot of people posted what was alleged? They don't need to know me. I don't want them to know me. I'm telling you, I could post certain stuff that's a conversation. I've just been too busy. They don't need to know me. Real talk. You got the wrong one over here, baby. People get mad when I talk about them. I don't know how they talk about different cultures. I don't like how the Kardashians copy people. I don't like that they're still linked to certain things. And I definitely don't like how they're putting their children in the media. Let the children grow up. But guess what? That's their children. So they can do whatever they want. But they're losing relevancy, period. I'm not losing relevancy. My page is doing extremely well. Thank you very much. Oh, you think I wanted them to know me? No, that's other pages, not me. I can care less about these celebrities. Real talk. So I talk about what I want to talk about. I let go what I want to let go, and I conversate what I want to conversate about. I can care less about those celebrities. They don't know me. They don't need to know me. I'm not chasing for any freebies or send me a package or I'm posting stuff. If you ever realize, I don't even post about celebrities and what they're selling. Definitely not the K's and the J's. I don't post what they're selling, what the distractions they're having. We talk about their PR stunts. Whenever there's an event, it's funny how the K's and the J's will be at an event and all of a sudden they're walking out of a hotel. They call sometimes the paparazzi, allege, and they push the narratives in regards to Instagram, Hollywood Unlocked, pushing a narrative, Shade Room, pushing a narrative, Khloe Kardashian, her podcast, pushing a narrative. Hello, did y'all see? Check this out. Did y'all see that TMZ is doing something with Lamar Odom and they're bringing up his old stuff? Lamar should have never did that with TMZ. Lamar should be focusing on moving on. It's talk about Lamar Odom and his relationship with the Kardashians. Khloe brought Lamar back in to talk about Lamar, and now he has to relive all that stuff. He should move on and focus on his rehab centers. But the Kardashians are pulling him in. That's what the Kardashians love to do. They love to bring men in to push a narrative. So concerning relationships. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, so concerning. Khloe Kardashian, Lamar Odom, and Tristan Thompson, so concerning. Corey Gamble, his relationships, past relationship, so concerning. Rob Kardashian, Black China, so concerning. Should I go on? Bad Bunny allegedly talking about Kendall Jenner, and he should date people that understand his lyrics and his music, so concerning. Kylie Jenner and Timothy Charlemagne, she dated certain people at what age? So concerning. Shall I go on? Shall I go on? Tristan Thompson basically let Khloe know he wanted to be single, and Khloe kept pushing the issue. Khloe Kardashian, her dating history, so concerning. Kim Kardashian, her dating history, so concerning. Kylie Jenner, her dating history, so concerning. Shall I go on? There we go. Kylie Jenner sent Jordan Woods a cake, and it said what? Khloe Kardashian Halloween costume, and she had women what? Kylie Jenner wore a necklace, a certain necklace, so concerning. Shall I go on? Kim Kardashian and the Balenci situation. I didn't give the full name. Shall I go on? Shall I go on? Kim Kardashian doing the video with Justin Bieber at what age? Shall I go on? People that allegedly had businesses, allegedly the K's and the J's, allegedly copied certain situations. Shall I go on? I'm the wrong one. I used to do videos. Your show. The Kardashians love to trend almost every week. Why are people not calling that out? Whenever there's an event, allegedly the paparazzis outside the hotel for Kim all the time, but they're not at the hotel for other people. Shall I go on? The mother expects them to date. The mother has already said she likes for her daughters to get close so they can boost their career. Shall I go on? Okay. Thank you. I'm the wrong one. They don't need to know me, sweetie. I'm not the type of page that seeks validations from anywhere. I already get it, sweetie. Ain't nobody trying to impress nobody that had how many situations? The mom is pushing a narrative that however your birth is not good enough. The mom is pushing a narrative about her surgeries. And then 2 weeks later, Kylie pushed the narrative about her surgeries. They're in the era where if the Kardashians are in an era allegedly, if you're going to make fun of me or them, we're going to put our business out there. We're going to talk about our surgeries. We're going to talk about our bad relationships. The unhealthy situations and unhealthy relationships are so concerning. So for Lamar Odom to sit with TMZ, maybe he needed the money. But the Kardashians love to resurface old stuff. They love to resurface old conversation. Rob Kardashian have already told the girls he doesn't want to be a part of the show and trying to go viral every month. Rob Kardashian has told them no, and every year Khloe likes to bring Rob in the conversation. Whether she's calling him on the phone, filming him in the conversation, Rob has said no. And Khloe is always trying to push Rob. Would Rob be different if he was close to the other sisters than Khloe? I don't know. But Rob was really close to Khloe Lamar. Rob was very close to Khloe and Lamar. And look what happened to Lamar. Thank goodness he made it out of the situation. But Lamar Odom talked about how he was literally in full-blown relationships along with marrying Khloe. Lamar Odom is telling it all. Sad but true. Show me some healthy relationships, Kardashians, then we'll conversate. But until we start seeing healthy relationships, we can't conversate. I don't want them to know me. I'm not impressed by anything they do. Think about how many friendships they lost. Blac Chyna and Tyga was dating. Kim was friends with Blac Chyna. Kim was close to Larsa Pippen. Larsa Pippen was dating who? Larsa Pippen was dating Tristan allegedly. So shame on her because the woman was pregnant. Khloe started dating Tristan and she's still been hanging, helping, doing all that. I am not impressed. Are they role models? People say yes, no. It's up to them. I'm not impressed. You can have the money, but are you happy, healthy? Are you in healthy relationships? Look at the friends around them. Malika, happy, healthy relationship? I don't know. Look at Lala, happy, healthy relationship? I don't know. Lala, Carmelo Anthony, Kim, and Kim likes to put herself in a situation. If she's dating somebody, Kim still likes to talk about the person she just broke up with. Kim likes to still talk about a person after she breaks up with them. Poor Pete Davis. I know he is so happy he's out of that situation, and Pete Davis is about to have a baby. The Kanye West situation, so concerning. Pete Davis, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West situation, so concerning. What Pete went through was crazy about Kanye. That was a lot. That was a lot. I report on it a little bit after that, but not much. That Kanye stuff is a lot. The different cultures he insulted, the different concerns and comments Kanye has made. But Kim wanted Kanye. Kim wanted Pete. Khloe and Kim would love to be in a healthy, happy relationship right now. But men are allegedly scared to attach themselves to them. And see, he would love to have custody. He might have been able to get custody if he wouldn't have insulted different cultures and race. He might have been able to have custody if he didn't make that video about crying about her being born. Kanye stepped on his own foot, and those children need him. He said too much. Kanye needs to learn. He can have conversations within his friend group once he goes live and he does those interviews, and he says he regrets doing and saying certain things. You should have thought about your kids first, Kanye. But not being able to be near his kids, by his kids, that would make any man that wants to be a part of their children's life go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Kanye should have, be careful who you have kids by. Be careful who you marry. Go back. Check this out. Real talk. Check this out, Paris. Go back and look at the interview when Wendy Williams talked about Kim and Kanye when they first started dating. That's why Kanye said he questioned having kids by that person. Wendy Williams talked about that about 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Wendy Williams talked about that. So I said, wow, that's why Kanye said he regrets. Wendy Williams talked about that about 5 or 6 years ago. Now I get it. Now I get it. But dude, you had how many kids? And they kept going. Was that by Kim's choice, Kanye's choice? I don't know. I don't know. But every week they have to post about something. Every month they try and trend about something. Every month. Every month. The mom can be in a relationship for 5, 8, 10 years, but those girls are expected to date and get close to somebody that can help them trend and go viral. The one sister that's different, baby, Kourtney Kardashian. And remember how Kourtney got married? And there was so much drama around that time Kourtney got married. Kim planned that. Kim loved that drama causing Kourtney. Okay, you want some good tea? Check this out, Paris. Aubrey O'Day did an interview about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Aubrey O'Day talked about Kim. Go look it up. Aubrey O'Day talks about Kim Kardashian and Travis Barker. Mic drop. Aubrey O'Day talks about Kim Kardashian, Travis Barker. Mic drop. I almost wanted to do a video on it. I've just been too busy. So when I say they're probably happy, I haven't talked about Kardashians and Ray J. I haven't talked about the Kardashians and Aubrey O'Day. They're probably happy. Many people do that video. So whenever Ray J talks about Whitney, Ray J loves to talk about the Kardashians. Aubrey O'Day, mic drop of what she had to say about Kim Kardashian and Travis Barker. I just haven't had time. I noticed, and this is the biggest thing, I noticed when I post certain videos, I notice there's a shift change. I notice when I say certain things, there's a conversation that's had, and I'll see certain videos. I'm not stupid, I'm not dumb. I'm true to this. I've been doing this for a very long time. I don't know if they know who I am, but certain people do. And I can post certain stuff. And I said this a month ago. I try to avoid certain conversations because there's certain people that's watching me and they'll look at my views. And if my views are doing well, they'll try and copy that. The one that likes to lie and do clickbait. Oh, you sound like you not. Oh, baby, I'm already outside. You must not be outside. But see, I don't watch every comment, but I'm truly outside. My page went from 3,000, 4,000 subscribers. We're almost at 40K, growing. Thank you very much. A lot of people care about Aubrey O'Day. She had a lot to say. She was real close to Kardashians. Go watch the interview. You'll be surprised. She had a lot of information. But here nor there. There's that. Some people still like them, those K's and J's. We'll keep following what's going on in regards to what's going to happen with those Epstein files. We'll keep following what's going to happen with the Epstein files. Okay, I am going to get out of here. There's some things I have to do. But show me a healthy relationship and we're good. But for now, they have concerns about relationships. Real talk. Okay, so it's interesting. We're talking about Aubrey O'Day. They're showing from the neighborhood talk when Aubrey O'Day found out that Diddy. Well, let's see, already. The time Aubrey realized that Diddy got arrested. They're posting it right now on Neighborhood Talk, about 15 minutes ago. She was shocked when he got arrested. I saw that they posted that. I think they reposted it. That's funny. We were just talking about Aubrey. Yep, there that is. Thank you. Yes, I remember that. 30 years married and relationship is very happy and healthy. Mine's too, girl. Mine's too. Grateful. A lot of my friends are in happy and healthy relationships. Grateful. You don't let these men embarrass you in these streets. And women should not embarrass their man in these streets. You want to cheat? Go over there and do your foolishness. He is so good. I am so grateful. And I tell y'all, I get blessed all the time. And I try and bless people all the time as well. And got some great news yesterday. And people around me get favor. I'll be general. A friend of mine was seeking a promotion. So they did the interview, got the job. So there was a young lady that they about 2 months ago, and she was talking about she had to have back surgery. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear you got to have back surgery. So she came back. And it's like, oh, welcome back. Nice to see you. Oh, thanks for saying that. I really appreciate that. You always so kind to me. Boom. When they were up for the interview, she had said, oh, I know the department you're about to go to. I know that lady. Guess what? I'm going to put a call in for you because you're always so nice to me. Boom. They've been in the position they're in for only 6 months. They already got the promotion and they got the job. Some of the people, he's been on that position for 6 months. Some of those people have been in his position for 3 years and they didn't even get the job. Just because of that lady speaking up saying, oh, welcome back from your surgery. How you doing? She made a call and helped that man get that job. Boom. People are like, wait a minute. You've only been here six months. I've been here 3 years and I've applied and I didn't get it. They got the job. They started today. Boom. My friends, a lot of them have favor, and I'm so grateful. And we talk about the favor of being kind, being considerate. Watch what you say, watch what you do. What do I always say? For the last 2 years or last year, I always say, focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. I don't talk about a lot of stuff, what's going on. I don't. Because people are trying, and everybody has good and bad days. But I'm so happy for that person for getting that job. Why? Because they were kind to somebody that was linked to somebody else. Boom. Want to do it? Okay. I got to go. I have some business I have to take care of. I am grateful I was able to go live for 3 hours and 16 minutes. I am grateful that you guys hung out with me. I am grateful you guys subscribed. My page is growing. I had to get the numbers up because over the last 2 weeks, I've been extremely busy. Family first. I have to take care of stuff. So, copyright disclaimer, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Thank you, Paris. Thank you, Paris, for being here. I'm glad you were able to tune in. I know you be busy too, so I get it. I appreciate you always. Everyone, thanks for subscribing. The numbers are going up. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. If we're not able to hit it by next month, we'll hit it by the next month. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you always for being a blessing, and you're my one and only mod. And there's a reason for that. Hey, thanks for being here, everyone. Be blessed. Goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see what happens in regards to Trump. Will Trump pardon Diddy? Yes or no? Will Trump pardon Diddy? Yes or no? He just said no this week. Will he pardon him? Yes or no? We'll follow it. We'll follow it. I think that's why Diddy's team is panicking, because he said no. Because remember, Trump had said if his bond is denied, he'll consider it if he feels that he's mistreated. Now he's changed his mind. Will he change his mind again? We'll keep an eye on it. Thanks for being here, everyone. Be blessed. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you.